I says, oh yeah. So Nicky looks at him, he's got like 45 litres of fuel in, thinking, fucking hell, he's actually doing race runs. Every one lap he did, he pitted.
That's... I've said it before, you just can't educate pork.
Oh yeah, India.
Can't educate what?
Pork.
Pork?
Pork. Pork. Like the meat. Pork.
Yeah, pig. Yeah. I know, I'm with you.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't educate pork.
Don't get that one.
Well, it's just a dumb animal, isn't it? It's just, you know...
Right, okay.
You can't sit there and educate a piece of pork, can you?
No.
You can't tell a piece of pork...
I mean, you can't educate a piece of pork because, A, it's dead.
Yep. And it's just a lump of meat. It's just a lump of meat.
Admit, I've never heard of that saying, and it sounds shit.
It sounds sick.
Shit.
Shit. Well, I don't mind if you don't like it. But,
Kelly,
the saying generally you can't teach stupid.
Well, no, you can't.
You know, you can't educate beef either.
Well, I mean, it's just like saying.
You want to go
exactly. You're right. You can't, though, can you?
You can't educate chicken.
Well, only when it's alive. You can't educate pork. It's an old saying. It's not mine. It's not an original.
Or venison.
Or mince.
Yeah, mince.
No. Or bacon. For that matter. You can't do it to a carrot.
Oh my god.
Or kite. You can't educate a kite.
I think you've...
Define the word kite.
Well, yeah, okay. Not in the racist term.
Moving on.
Whoa!
Moving on,
Hang on. Hey, whoa! Let's leave this race out. My personal stream's going here.
Oh dear!
You'll get me for you.
Faggots. You can't educate faggots.
No, you're right. No, you're right. Daniel Francis can never be.
They're just meatballs.
Oh dear.
If Daniel Francis has got a way of listening, good evening.
Yeah.
If Daniel Francis is listening and is enjoying the stream right now, mate, you're the biggest fucking penis in the world.
Yeah. How's your mint?
Oh, I think that's pretty harsh.
How's your pork?
How's your pork? Uneducated.
Bear.
Uneducated pork.
What are you cooking at minute?
Pork.
You what? What is it? Waffles.
Can't educate
Can't educate him.
Can't educate him.
Can't educate pork, Kelly says.
But the waffling versatile.
Hey, Bear.
Well, that's going back. Showing your age there, Mike.
Something Kelly was on about.
Just stop me from cleaning the fucking kitchen.
Hey, Beth.
You can't.
Dan wants you, Beth.
I'm gonna punch you.
Dan wants you. What's up, Dan? I'll relay the message.
What's the code?
What's the code?
What's occurring?
What's the code? What's the code?
Oh, this Porsche feels quite nice in the wet.
My hip's hurting. You need to go fuck yourself.
Oh, I don't go fuck yourself, but what was the rest of it?
Her hips are hurting and she's stressed.
The rest was shit. I was just enjoying a bit where she told Dan to go fuck himself.
Kelly, there's a
Oh, she's getting fired up now.
There's a Red Bull DJ this week at Donington, Kelly, Saturday night.
Red Bull DJ. Yeah, I just read that.
Should have offered your services, Kelly.
No, mate. I don't want to work at the weekend. I want to enjoy myself.
Get your busy mate Matt Neal up on the decks with you.
Yeah, what, spinning the ones and twos?
Yeah. It's alright, you could have Paito, he'd smash the fucking records.
Yeah.
You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby.
I
right
fucking hope
round,
this
right
Red Bull
round.
DJ's got some good Christmas songs to play.
Oh,
You
fuck
really have
you,
got a
your
fucking
Christmas
hard
song.
on about Christmas, haven't you?
It come on Spotify the other day.
Yeah.
The playlist's all come back on Spotify and I've just been... I love Christmas, me. Love this time of year.
Hey, Peaceful, what's your fastest in the wet?
Quicker than yours.
I've just come off 51, I think. Or 50.6. What's yours?
49.
I see we have some weather.
So you're quick on quarter of the race. What about the other fucking 3 quarters?
Oh!
That'll be the 1 quarter you fucking drop it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The other fat thing goes quiet. Yeah, because he knows he's fucking right.
He was trying to...
I'll get locked down by then.
If Peaceful puts it on a podium, I'm going to run... No, bloody not. That's not a piece of stupid to say that. No way.
What did you say, Matt? If the Porsche gets on the front row, you do what?
10, 12, 13,
Oh,
14.
he's
Be
gone
very
quiet
quiet.
now.
Be very quiet. That's what he's going to do.
What driver am I missing?
Surely you learnt your lesson last night.
Liam, but Liam's not racing, so that's it, because Jamie's
No.
upset.
What will I
no.
do, Matt?
Here, Matt, don't forget to clear your video so you can save the replays.
I've done it, mate. I did it last night. They were clear for last night. They just wouldn't save for some reason.
So, Matt, going back, what would you do if the Portugal's on the front row?
Fuck all.
No,
He's learnt his
you
lesson
gotta do
now,
something.
mate.
You got to do something, mate.
No,
He's learnt his lesson.
because I'm never going to make a bet again, it turns out. I'm no longer going to be a betting man, because as it turns out, when that Renault's still shit, and Kelly was, you know, fucking just not really getting anything out of the first race, he still sneakily finds a way to fucking, parking Smoky Devil in the fucking wall, to find a way on the podium.
You're lagging,
That's
Matt.
your only defence, isn't it? I drove the tits off that car last night.
That's what I'm saying. And I bet it wasn't even for the fucking bet we'd made. I bet it was just for the podium itself, wasn't it?
For me, Daytona. But no, Matt, the added emphasis. I mean, me and Nicky were talking, and we were like, if we're
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna give too much away at the moment, Kelly. I'll let you. I'm leggy. Right. All right. Right. I wonder if it's because I'm streaming. There's a load of us in party. Yeah. No. I have to agree with you on that one. I think what. Yeah. No, I don't think there is. Yeah, I mean, obviously Gary a bit of a quicker driver than yourself and Nicky, and it'll be interesting to see what he can get out of it. But I don't think there's much more. A 45 maybe. I can't see Gary getting in the 44s at all. So yeah. Yeah, I will have. Good luck tonight, mate. Right. I'm going to start a party for me and you, Kelly. Yes!
Boys, be quiet now. Boys,
Right.
stop.
Best of luck, Dan and Maz. Yeah? Yeah, you've still got 13 minutes left. 12 minutes left, yeah. Hurry, bit. Kelly Davis. Yeah. You what? Yeah. Kelly Davis. Oh.
Right! I'm gonna have the kitchen tidy anyway. Make sure it stays tidy. Yeah.
No worries, babe.
hello, mate.
All right, bud.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Good.
No, just a quarter of race. Pretty much similar to what you had, but it's just coming earlier. There's a little bit I've put on at the end of quali.
Oh, a bit of weather at the end of quali and just a bit for race 1, yeah?
Yeah, so it's like 25% for quali. So again, I've put the 4 slots on and made one of the slots rain. It's like the last 2.5 minutes. So not a lot where they're going to be sat in the pits and we're going to be commentating on nothing in quali, but enough that they can get a bit of wet running on, and then the first quarter of the race will be wet.
Okay. Cool.
All set for tomorrow?
I think so, mate. Yeah, I've been chasing around like fucking lunatics here. Well, I've been chasing around all day, actually, trying to get shit sorted. So we're ready to go. And, van's pretty much loaded. So, yeah, all good. Everything's ready, so I don't see any issues. Just hoping on a good, good run-up, really.
Yeah, exactly. I've been non-stop all day, to be fair, as well, myself.
Yeah, you don't want that car, Daniel. Change that livery. That car.
Are you going to tell me otherwise, Beth?
What have you done?
I've been non-stop, Beth.
What, I've sat on your arse?
No, I've been busy.
Alright,
Yeah.
Packed all the shit, yeah?
ACC wasn't going to play itself, is all I'm going to say.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
No,
I have
mate,
not fucking stopped from 7 o'clock this morning.
honestly,
I have not stopped.
if I get in the way of Beth when she's sort of on a mode of packing, make sure everything's ready, I will
so
be shouted at.
So your run off your feet is making sure you don't get in the fucking missus' way.
My
Is
run
that
off
what
the
it is?
feet is when she's coming at me, fucking run.
Move.
Get out the fucking way. Make sure she's...
So, can she hear me?
No, she can't hear you, but I can relay the message.
Okay, are you all set, Beth?
Are we all set?
Near enough.
Yes, near enough. There's just food in the fridge that she'll be packing tomorrow morning, and then the bedding that we're obviously using tonight.
Yeah. That's not exactly what I said. I said, is she ready? Not you guys.
Kelly said, are you ready, not us ready?
Ready for what?
Just for this
Hit
week.
Dan, yeah. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Oh, shit.
Yeah, because she's obviously in charge, you know?
Yep. So that's the one.
Good. Yeah.
I think I'm just going to stay with tent all day. Fuck it.
I've got a bit of a line I want to say if Disco has a problem tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
Go on. Have you got a what is it? Go on.
I'm gonna, if he has a mistake or someone hits him, I need to think about it a bit more, but I'm gonna say, well, he can't blame it on the sunshine. He could blame it on the moonlight. And I'm not gonna say, instead of saying boogie, I was gonna say if someone hits him. Instead of blame it on the boogie, I was going to say like Mazda hits him. I could say blame it on Mazda, and just kind of twist it a little bit.
You're one line short, right? So sunshine, moonlight, good times.
Ah, right. Well then, yeah, I can. Yeah, there we go.
Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on the boogie. That's how the song goes.
Yeah.
So you could go.
Well,
Don't blame it on.
Been thinking about that one all day because I had the song come on earlier on Spotify, and I thought, oh,
What, have you been rushed off your feet?
while I was rushed off my feet, the music was on. You know, like I say, Football Manager on the PC and ACC on the PlayStation. They wasn't going to play themselves, Kelly.
Of course they're not. Someone's got to be there to do it, haven't they?
Boy, you better just leave not fucking 70 tonight and carry on saying shit like that.
Well, I didn't hear that.
I better be sleeping on the settee if I'm going to keep saying shit like that.
Yeah. You got to keep your energy up anyway for the run around the campsite naked.
Yeah, this is the one. Yeah.
I'm not gonna make you do it, mate. You know that.
No, I know that.
I know that.
We didn't
You
shake.
know that.
We didn't shake on it, so.
It doesn't matter what you say. You made the bet, and it was for the whole world to hear. But I'm not going to make you do it. You did lose, but I'm not going to make you do it.
You what, Beth?
No, you can.
You what, Beth? Are they spicy?
Yeah, they're the wrong ones.
Ah, why do you get floaty trial?
What about them?
All right.
Hey! We just picked up me.
You know, we could do your line between us.
Yeah, we could do. It depends if we catch Disco having a problem. That's the thing. That's what I'm relying on.
Yeah.
Because like I say, the song was on earlier, and I thought, that was one that Disco might enjoy.
Bit clear.
Yeah.
And I thought you'd enjoy it as well.
Normal.
I mean, I was giving out the fucking Christmas ones last night.
I heard it.
They was rolling off the tongue.
Yeah. I have the stream on, but I've also got headphones on listening to Nikki.
Yeah.
I've got the stream on the speakers, and Hayley's kind of listening to the stream and whatever live. So of course you're like 30 seconds behind what's actually going on.
Yeah.
When I hear it, like, you know, but you're just like kind of audible that when I need to tune into what you're saying, I can, but I can't. I don't listen to all of it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
You know, it's like your concentration when a Merc's breathing down your neck and coming at you at a rate of knots, then I'm not really listening. I'm just trying to drive. But I did hear a lot of the Christmas references last night.
17 takeaway 20%. Lap 4. 17 takeaway 70% to lap 12.
What? I meet him. It is a bit hot when it's in the oven.
What? Yeah, I know.
What's that?
Well, I hope Dan's got your rattler, because I picked up your pasties.
Yeah, he has. I'm sure he said he has earlier.
Yeah. Well, I picked up pasties for you and all your lot.
Oh, thank you.
So if the kids don't eat anything but chicken nuggets, they've got meat to answer to.
Floyd. If you bought the kids a pasty, Floyd will gobble it down. No questions asked. James.
Yeah. Well, maybe James can make it last all weekend.
Okay, James could make it last all fucking year, mate. Let me tell you that. Alright, close that. Just refresh the weather in case it's got worse. No. No, the weather hasn't got worse. That. Just go onto the YouTube a second.
But has it got better?
No, it's the same still. You are?
Have you got a proper Cornish pasty?
What, against us one?
Yeah.
Proper? No, proper one. You got a Barnacuts.
A Barnacuts.
Yep.
Oof.
I picked them up. They were fucking piping hot this morning. Unfortunately, by the time they get to you, they will be cold. But I picked them up fresh.
That's not good enough, Kelly. That's not good enough.
Well, sorry about that.
You're gonna have to try and train them and teach them to stay piping hot.
You can't educate pasties. It's like pork. You can't educate it. They were piping hot. I picked them up at 10:30 this morning, and I've been travelling around with them in the van all fucking day.
Oh, I bet your van smells lovely. Right, so...
But yeah, they are proper
are we missing? Phil is not yet in. Little Each is not yet in. Monkey Boy is not here tonight. Might be here for the second race, depending on his kid going to sleep.
Right.
His kid's had his baby's at second injection or something, so it's just a bit...
a bit righty.
So, no... So we've got 15 drivers. No Liam 14. No Monkey Boy 13.
Why no Liam?
Working tonight.
Oh, right, okay.
He hopes to be back next week. He hopes that his shifts are sorted so he can be back properly from next week.
Right.
So we are just missing Little Each and Phil. Oh, mate. Tell me about it.
Is it in a camper van then?
Yeah, in a van with an awning.
What?
Van with an awning.
What, camping?
Under the moonlight.
Oh, hot. Oh.
One person on the double points. Mr. Peaceful Explosion.
Really?
Yes.
Well, track, I suppose, so.
I think he'd be silly not to be fair. I can't believe that Master hasn't said he's going to take his.
Fury's done it, hasn't he?
No.
Oh, well, Fury should have as well.
Disco.
In fact, he's got a really good chance of it, so.
Yeah. Disco, Andy, and Gary. Gary's double points for his drop score. Which was Donington, so that was, mega. I'm just going to send one more invite out to Little Leach and Phil. Daniel Francis. No, it just popped up on this list. We'll leave that one for another day. Little Leach and Phil. Go. And start the race, or start the session.
Uh-huh.
If anybody joins, quickly cancel it so you can make sure they're in the right car. And they haven't. Have a coffee when you're done, baby.
Yeah, I'll go coffee.
Alright, have a juice when you're done then, please. We've not got any coffee at all.
I can get some.
Get some out of that top so I can just have one and a few biscuits.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Yes, Kelly.
What's that was? Something as simple as that.
Mm?
Something as simple as that. It's a nice.
$11. Yeah, that's right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport here for your weekly running of the Pro Series, and it's the halfway stage of the season now, round 11 and 12, and people will soon be talking about the 12 days of Christmas. Well, we're on about the 12 rounds of SimPlay this season. What a season it's been in the Pro as well. We've had BMWs, Porsches, we've had Mercedes-Benz at the front of this pack taking race wins, and Kelly, tonight, the BMWs after such a dominant week, Dan needs a good one to rebound and bounce back.
Absolutely, Matt. He certainly does. He had quite the fight with the BMWs last week, and here we go again, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's beginning to look a lot like night time as well here, isn't it?
It is. Second night race. First back-to-back night race of the season, and the first season with 3 night races in them. That one will come at Fuji later on in the year, but we're back at Daytona for our yearly visit here, and what a track to be at. I love Daytona, beautiful circuit. Always provides, I find, Kelly, some of the best entertainment, some of the best racing here in the GT3s.
Absolutely, and I'm a firm favourite of this one. It's always been a good hunting ground for me, and most of last night was good.
Was hunting as well.
Yes, absolutely. So it's a good track. We like it.
We do like it. 12 drivers in at the minute. We are expecting a 13th of Phil in shortly as well. Monkey Boy might not be with us tonight. We're not expecting him, but he says there might be a chance that I can join. No Liam as well tonight, as Disco's got the wipers on. Well, there's no rain at the moment, but there is rain around, Kelly, and that's the most important thing tonight. Is it just looks like there's the odd shower just lingering over Florida at the moment, similar to what we had last night, but we'll have to see how long it does last tonight, and when it comes, that's the important bit, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, when it came last night, it came reasonably heavy. I just pitted as the rain started. I literally, the rain started falling as I exited the pit, and I did a Lando Norris and decided to stay out on the slicks, thinking, how wet can it be? How wet can it get in the second half of the race? Wow, it got wet enough. That's for certain sure.
It definitely did. As we we saw last night the Mercedes drivers who was on the slicks. I think it was Mays Gamer, Kieran and Rabbit Joe all came into the bus stop chicane and just straight onto the grass, followed by a few others as well at that stage of the night. But we go into this one, like we say, getting into the halfway stage to the end of round 2 tonight. That will be the halfway mark of the season, as that's Sutty trying to stay on the oval but just dropping off of it there behind Peaceful Explosion. Them two love a good dogfight around this track. Hopefully we can see another one tonight. But I'm just going to quickly run you through the championship standings for you now.
Thank God.
And it's Andy who leads the way, 23 points clear of Unorthodox, but Unorthodox has double points to take. He gained a few more points over Andy after the drop scores was calculated last week. Disco is sat P3, just ahead of Fury. Fury again still to take double points, and Fury looking very, very good at the moment. Took his first win in the Pro last week. Gary's P5 and quite, what's the word I'm looking for? Quite under... is he overachieving, I'm going to say, in that car, because I don't think in this category it should be P5. BT Targus currently sat 6th, D Biggs is 7th, Fixmart is P8 with Sutty just behind him in 9th. Peaceful down in 10th place. Is tonight the night? We've seen how dominant the Merc was last night. Is tonight Peaceful's night to gain them points and really catapult himself up the championship standings a little bit? Little Leach is 11th. I reckon that's where the Renault should be this season, and Gary out driving that car at the moment. Phil is Monkey Boy is MP12. Phil is P13 with Jamie Brazier 14th. That Bossy Boy 15th and Mazda 16th place and still on a point. The constructors table, Slingshot Motorsport 62 points clear of Shake and Bake, as Gary getting it all sideways through turn 2. Team Prolapse are then in 3rd place with the Leachy Losers in 4th, and again, hats off to them two for getting it. P4 in the constructors at the moment, not far off the back of Team Prolapse. Wakasaki Racing are P5 with GQ Motorsport P6, Run Flat Racing at P7, Ironbrew Racing 8th, and SimPlay Racing in 9th place. We've got one driver taking double points who we'll mention in race 2. But Kelly, you was out there driving that Renault tonight, and do you feel that Gary is kind of overachieving this season to be 5th in the championship?
Well, we've said it before, mate. There's drivers and there's screwdrivers, and Gary's a driver for sure. And he's doing the best he can. It's the Renault, and we said this just off stream, just a few moments ago. I'm really interested to see what kind of times Gary can get out of this Renault this evening in the dry conditions.
Yeah.
I was wringing its absolute neck last night. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't have got any more out of that car. But Gary is a 2-times champion and a pro driver and a winning pro driver. So I'm interested to see, for my own interest, if there's more in this car than I could get out of it. But I don't think he's got a snowball's chance in hell tonight.
No.
I really don't. But you know what happens when you start making predictions and bets about, what you think's going to happen and what you think isn't going to happen?
You do. And also, Kelly, sun shines on a dog's arse some days. So
it certainly does, my friend.
Hey.
And the sun was shining last night.
That indeed it was. Going into this one then, nobody making their 50th appearance. But Dan, as he has now for the last couple of weeks, can equal and beat Jamie Brazier's record and become the leading all-time wins holder here at SimPlay Motorsport. And 21 to his name, Jamie Brazier still on 22. What a job that would be. Could Gary make it race win number 17 and 18? No.
Well, unlikely, I say, but never presume anything. Anything can happen, and it can. So, we will. And
it probably will around here.
And it probably will. I feel there's a Murrayism in there somewhere.
There is Daytona. This is the thing I love about Daytona, Kelly, is it provides so much great action, and you kind of. We said it last year. We said that this is a Mercedes track, but we looked at last year. Me and Dan said it last night. The Porsches did the work last season with Gary and yourself in the Pro and Prom, and I feel Daytona's a track that at times there's that much that can happen. The rule book goes out the window. And
I mean, it's the nature of the track with this banking gives you such a slipstream. And I mean, the Renault is slow in a straight line.
Yeah.
The Lamborghini was better, and the Merc was better again. And if you go back, and not now at your own convenience, and watch last night's race, and you see when Kieran Argent overtook me and Welshie, I think it was.
Wow, that was a manoeuvre.
He went round me on the high side, dropped in between the two of us, and went down the inside of Welshie all in one straight, like we were standing still.
Yeah.
So the Merc is extremely powerful.
And that
round here.
Lamborghini is no slouch in a straight line, Kelly. You know?
No, absolutely not.
As we say,
Absolutely
a
not.
very good evening to Smithy. Come on, Leechy losers, let's go end dubs for the Porsche. Do it for the Porsche, he says. Evening to Disco McDisco Face. Evening to PN Motorsport Gaming and Maze Gamer in the chat. Fury's Grandad. Evening at Sweet and Sticky. Good luck, everyone. Fury's driving home for Christmas, or so I've heard. And a very good evening to Fury's mum. Now, I got sent a video about an hour ago. Fury's mum, Fury was cooking some dinner, rustling himself some grub up, you know, for the evening meal. Fury's mum there, she's blasting the Christmas tunes out. Fury's there enjoying them
really?
as he's making the dinner. I got sent that from Fury's granddad, so appreciate that, Tony. And Fury's mum, what a legend for the Christmas tunes.
Okay. I just want to just put my 2 pence worth on this.
Yep.
It's October. You
Yes.
lot. Pack it in. We'll talk about it on the 1st of December. All right? Until that point, it's a no-go subject.
Just looking
In my
around.
opinion.
I'm just looking around me here. I'm going to say this one quietly. Beth's not here, but I'm planning on getting the tree up.
What?
No, I'm not
What?
really. No, I'm not really. Midland.
Mate, I want this weekend to be like a summer's weekend.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
oh, flip-flops,
'Cause we are-
shorts and beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet.
Because a whole load of us will be at Donington Park
Yes,
for
we will be.
the British Touring Car event. Come and join us if you want to. We'll be in SimPlay hospitality.
Yeah.
You can't miss us. It'll be the worst hospitality
Just-
in the place. Be a beaten to death gazebo
Yeah.
with a crayon sign that says SimPlay Motorsport, and we'll all be sat there drinking Rattler and eating Cornish pasties.
Yeah.
So come
Ginsters.
join us. We'd love to meet you.
Yeah.
No, Cornish pasties.
Yeah, we will. It'll be an absolute cracking weekend. We might try and snap a few
Yeah.
drivers up, because I've heard a few of them are quite good at racing. So we might try and sign a few
Yeah.
up, see if they're about to have a go. You know, might get Matt Neal out of retirement to bring him onto.
I think we need to try and get some selfies, don't we? Some SimPlay selfies.
Yeah, some SimPlay selfies, what most definitely.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be a cracking weekend, and the weather looks decent at the moment as well. And like you say, the SimPlay hospitality, just in an open field with a few of us just sat there, chilling, having a great time, and watching some fantastic action on the track. But we're here at Daytona. We're catching some great action right now.
Yep.
And Kelly.
I want to catch someone to go on board with. I might actually, Craig's coming round.
Yeah,
I might try and catch him. Yeah.
That's fine. I'll tell you what, we'll do a lap with Craig, and then we'll just talk about the track limits.
Okay, that'd be great.
Just before you get onto that lap, a good evening to Keegs in the chat. Nikki, come on Team Pro Laps. Jamie Brazier, evening all, and Fury's mum. Never too early for Christmas music.
Okay, look at the pit lane on your left-hand side. Pit lane entry is fast, very fast, easy to mess it up and to get a penalty, so watch out for that. Got to slow it down as you're coming real fast. We're going round past the pits, turn 1 coming up quickly. Brake as late as you dare, but you've got to get it slowed right down from 170 miles an hour. Pull it into the left-hand side. There's a right and a left as you come round the pit wall, nice and easy, flat through here. Pull it across to the left-hand side. Brake as late as you dare. Hairpin right all the way around. Track limits on the exit of this. You can run across that line. That's not a problem. Not over the yellow. Now it's flat scat down through here. Left-hander on this infield. Come in. Don't run the curb too much. Just touch it. Let it run wide. Hit your brakes now. Down a load of gears. Let it run out wide. Tuck it back to the apex. As Craig missed that one, and down this little short straight now, bring it across to the right hand side, braking for the next hairpin turn. Easy to get it wrong here. You can step the back end out on acceleration, hug the white line. You're going onto the banking now. You want to stay on the banking, don't come down onto the flat stuff at the bottom, because that's no good to you whatsoever. So need a good exit out that last corner, because every bit's going to count. Now we'll look at the speedo on this. This car isn't going to top much more than about 165 miles an hour, 170 if you're very lucky with a toe. But hit the brakes now. The chicane, track limits is the yellow. Oh, you missed that one, Craig. It's the yellow curbs. You've got to have 2 wheels on the yellow curbs. We'll talk about that again in a minute. We're into the final sector now, and this is where the Renault's getting particularly mugged down through here as we come round this corner and onto the last straight. Again, look at the speedo. Struggling to make 150. He hasn't even pulled 7th gear yet. I don't even know if Craig knows he's got a 7th gear. Oh, look, as the Porsche goes past him. Now he's into 7th gear, coming across the line. We're not quite going to make 170 miles an hour in this car as the Porsche is pulling away. And that is Daytona. The slipstream is very, very powerful around here. And you'll see that happen throughout the evening. So if we stay on board,
Yep.
just for a moment, again, the 2 track limits points are on the exit of this corner. As look, that gets a bit pushy shove. I don't know if that's Dan or
Yeah, no, that's
Biggs.
done. So the exit
Yeah.
of that corner there is the white line, but it's a yellow curb. Just over the white line is the track limit. You'll have 2 wheels on that curb. As long as you've got 2 wheels on that curb, you are fine. The other part of the track limits is mainly the bus stop to look at. As long as 2 wheels, like Kelly said, are on the yellow curbing at the bus stop, you are fine to go through there as that. Even if 2 wheels are on the grass, 2 wheels have to be on the curb. That is the ruling for all tracks, and we said this at Red Bull Ring, and we just wanted to clarify that up for those watching tonight.
Look at the traction the Porsche got out of that corner.
Yeah,
Look at it
just look at the run it
pulling
gets
away,
here.
look.
Yeah. Evening to Peaceful Stepdad in the chat. Jamie, I'll be watching on TV now. Unfortunately, Jamie tested positive for COVID, so he's not going to be able to go.
Oh, gutted about that.
Good evening.
Really want to, really want to meet Jamie, but next time.
Yeah,
But
next-
get well
indeed.
soon. If you're feeling any symptoms of it, of course.
Yeah. Good evening all to everyone except Fury's granddad, who has apparently lost the plot, says Peaceful Stepdad.
Yeah, well, agreed. Yes. Was there a plot in the first place?
Well, I don't know. I mean, hey, I'm all for Christmas.
Don't talk about it.
Well, no, that's fine. Now, interesting thing here. Look at Disco. Didn't think the BMW would be this good.
No, I didn't know what the I didn't know what the BMW is going to do around here. Andy's not doing it. I say he's not doing a great deal with it. Look, he's less than a second away from Disco, but he's not doing great guns with it. Peaceful going well, though. We expected the Merc to be strong here. It's probably the most powerful car on the grid.
The one
in a straight line.
the one that shocks me as well, Kelly. Sutty and Phil, 11th and 13th in that Lamborghini. I thought it would be a bit better than that.
Yeah, of course, this is still practice, and these guys might well be sandbagging. I mean, it happens. So let's wait to see what happens in qualifying. But look, see that Peaceful just running those, not over the track limits, not out of limits at all, but certainly running it to its absolute maximum there.
The Renault's pretty much where we expected them on tonight's session, but Gary in the 45.6s, so not looking too bad for pace there.
Yeah.
Mazda being
Well,
outdone by an Orthodubs and Fury up in third. That's kind of where we expected the Mercedes, if not maybe in front of Dan and Disco.
Yeah, absolutely. You could well have been right. I think Disco's put in a great lap with a 43.9. I think we might see a few more 43s in qualifying. Excuse me. It's a good lap from Disco, and it's going to be interesting towards the front. You know, there's a lot of contenders for this one, and I mean, we had a
100%.
great night's racing last night, and I expect the same tonight. So I think it's going to be very interesting, and it's going to be difficult to call a winner, I think.
Could you put your money on a winner? Could you put your money on a man for pole position if you had to?
With that pace, maybe Andy for pole.
Disco.
Who knows? It's yeah.
I'm going to give Fury the shout for the race win.
Yeah, for the race win, yeah.
I think he's racing well at the minute. We've said this a lot about Fury in the recent times as Peaceful doesn't improve. Sutty goes 7th. Now, what man I want to talk about as we go into qualifying here, D Biggs, Mr. Consistent of last season.
Yeah.
What is happening this year?
Yeah, he doesn't really seem to be getting it started, does he?
No,
you know, it's.
I mean, he sat P7 in the championship. Not a bad start. But you look at D Biggs last year, you'd think he'd be ahead of Gary at least in the Renault. Right? Putting him at least 6th place. BT Targa, solid driver, fantastic driver. Fury's improving. Disco, Dan and Andy, we know are quality as well. But Biggs just seems off the pace this season.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, and we don't know what his normal routine is for. Does he do practice in a week? Did he do it last season? Is he not doing it this season? Has he got other things on in his life, so on and so forth? You know, we don't know the ins and outs of what is going on, but it definitely seems to be a little bit out of sorts.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
Yeah, as we say, a good evening to Welshie in the chat. I tell you what, it probably is. Kelly's probably not getting a silent night's worth of sleep.
I don't talk about it. So Sutty, look, with a penalty straight away.
What?
So easy to do round here.
Do you know
really
something?
is.
It really. Rabbit Joe got one last night in qualifying too, and we've seen I feel we've seen a lot more penalties this season out the pit lane.
Where's Andy been? That's not the way out of the pits, Andy.
No, I think he's missed his braking at the pit exit. But we've seen so many grid penalties this season, both Pro and Pro-Am. We've seen a lot of grid penalties this year.
Yes, absolutely. It's as we said, it's a very although it's reasonably simple pit lane. You know, it's not complicated. It's very easy to make a mistake, and we see that Sooty's the first victim of that. Are the BMs? Sorry, mate, go on.
Just going back to the pit lane before you get onto the BMs. Yeah. Entering the pits, I could understand maybe just pushing the limits a little bit there. Leaving the pits on an outlap, don't get it. Don't get it.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just like, you know, I don't know if people are a little bit eager to get on that button and get moving, but I don't think you gain an awful lot. Excuse me. I don't think you gain an awful lot by getting off the pit limiter.
No, and you think of the pit lane here, you're pretty much braking straight into the corner.
Exactly.
So what are you gaining? As
Andy making up his whole new track this evening, isn't he? Now, what is that all about?
Now that's
what is that all about? Who's that in front of him? Is that Dan?
Yes,
it is Dan. Now, are we playing games here or what? Or am I just being paranoid?
I'm not too sure. 2 people are watching on my personal stream. Guys, go and check out SimPlay Motorsport and watch the action over there. Like and subscribe if you are new. But yeah, that one was very silly from Andy there. I'm just going to write that one down, I think. Yeah. Just going to, yeah. I don't know quite what's going on there. He's lost all that time, so he's lost out to Disco.
Yeah. And, it's... At times he's lost out to These boys, they're obviously trying to engineer a tow. But at the moment, I think they're all a little bit too close to each other. And, so I don't quite see what they're gaining here. But are we beginning to see some games? Because there was an incident last week that Dan wasn't really very happy with.
Every driver, let's point this out, got warned, didn't they, over the track limits?
Yes, they did. Yes.
There was drivers messaging the admins personally about saying that, I've got footage I want to put in, and I think the admins had basically, their message back was, great, because unless you've got every driver, you're all getting a warning because you was all doing it. And it was at times, I mean, you said it, Kelly, it was at times a joke.
Yes.
We don't want to see it. There's no place for it. Let's not forget, we banned Cam last season from the Pro-Am for doing that same thing. And he's not been back since. Whether you want to help Disco get a slipstream down the start straight, that's fine. But we've got to keep it within the rules of the track. While there's other cars about, we've got to be respectful.
Yeah, absolutely. And, track limits isn't just running wide on a corner. You can't just make up your own track when it kind of suits you. That kind of Andy did a little bit there. I think that was a little bit naughty, all in all. So they're, as you said, they're all on a warning for track limits. The pro guys, all of them. And I'm sure there is guys on the grid that weren't abusing the track limits, but there's so many incidents of it. Last week and at Dubai, that it's just easier, I believe, for the shoers just to say, right, okay, you lot. Any more, and we're going to start dishing out penalties for these track limits. So, I completely
agree.
Got to clamp down on, so we have to do it.
Completely agree. And as we have 23 people watching, guys, get them likes and subscribes in. Mazda in the pitch, not yet set a lap time, and there's 5.5 minutes left as Dan is currently your pole sitter with a 43.6. He had a hell of a toe off of his teammate, and that's something that's going to be interesting here. Look at everybody. They're sort of like Noah's Ark. Like Noah's Ark. They're in their twos, and they're going around the track. You have to feel for the likes of Mazda and Peaceful and Fury here, whose teammates aren't here tonight.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, me and Nicky tried it last night with the toe thing, and it does work if you get it right. I don't know as you need to be as close as these boys are running here. I don't know as it's always
big slide,
got very deep. Both of them did, actually. They both.
BT's in the wall. I think Xmart went round as well, because he's not come past, has he, Xmart? So I think Xmart may have gone round. Kieran Argent, no driver sent me footage of track limits. Nothing was posted. No, I had a few. I was chatting to a few, is what I meant by that, Kieran. There was a few that I'd spoken to about the track limits. That had came to me about things. I'm not going to name names, but a few had came to me. Is what I mean by that.
which is kind of pointless because that's not the way it works. Because you really are the until you're needed, you're the Michael Massey of this, aren't you? Really?
Yeah,
You know?
but I think even at the end of the day, I think if the guy who oversees it needs to step in and say, right, enough is enough. You know, there's track limits for the stewards to sort out, and then there's just taking the mickey.
Yes.
And, you know, I think that's what last week was, which we saw back in Le Mans for the Pro-Am last season. If you remember rightly, we turned track limits back on, and it was threatened last week as well. As Peaceful crosses the line and puts it P2 at the minute, half a second off the back of Dan. And you have to respect Dan's time and take your hat off to him, because what a lap it was, what a slipstream it was. Master's still not done a lap, and I don't think he's going to do a lap, starting at the back.
It's not the end of the world. We've seen it many times.
But surely, though,
a bit of rain I saw.
That is a bit of rain. An interesting choice. A bit of drizzle coming at the end of qualifying. So the rain then starting to make its way in. So drivers, well, not only are they going to start to struggle to build their lap times, but for the last 3 minutes of qualifying, this could be an interesting one. We may not see much action on track. Or are we going to see guys just tweaking a last setup? The BMs, where are they? 12th and 9th at the minute. So whatever tactic they was deploying didn't work.
They need to get on with it, because if this rain keeps coming, the best of the times are going to be gone in just a moment.
Yeah, they are. They are. Peaceful's into the pits. So you feel that that's done. And is this now tweak a setup maybe for a little bit of wet running? I mean, you don't change much, do you? It's only it's only a shower forecast
and stuff. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't bother, would you? You know, I don't think it's. Look at it; it's getting really quite wet there already, isn't it? Through the chicane.
Well, that's where it got greasy last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's. I decided, as said, to stay on slicks before really bad.
Yeah.
Really, really bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad along the straights, and on the oval wasn't too bad. But my gosh, the infield, honestly, was nearly undrivable on the slicks, and I was
on the phone to your mate. On the phone to your mate Lando.
Yeah, I was, and I said, Lando, what do you think? He said, you're an idiot. I said, okay, thank you.
Yeah, and you replied with, well, I think you're an idiot because you did it at Sochi, but whatever.
Yeah, and I wasn't leading the Grand Prix, but there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
So look, Disco's going to be done at this, and Andy's in the pits as well.
Yeah, the BM's done, so Andy will be out qualified by Gary and Littleach, and Mazda not setting a time. You feel that could really hurt Mazda in the long run of this one, and that's not where he would have wanted to be. But at the end of the day, he's the one who's not got himself out there. He's the one who's punished himself, you'd have to say, by starting at the back. But Andy, down towards 12th place. That's not going to do him any good when his championship rival is currently sat in pole position. A lot of drivers in the pits here. There's only Dan, Biggs and Gary out on track. The Renault might go quicker in the wet. Let's see. Let's wait and see. But here comes Dan and D Biggs. Here comes Dan and D Biggs then, with 1 minute 18 left of the session. It is getting very slippery. You can see the shine.
Quicker. I hope he doesn't go quicker, because he was over track limits.
No, he didn't
on that last lap.
No, he didn't. I have a feeling that is the grid order.
Yeah, so do I. Look, D Biggs just went deep in turn one. That's it. Track's too wet now.
Yeah.
No one's going to go quicker.
No one's going to go quicker. So that is your job then. That is going to be your grid. And they've got a minute, 52 seconds then to improve here.
Interesting, look. The BM's so far back. And as I said, it's not the end of the world being back there. And we've seen it week in and week out. Cars come from the back. Remembering this is a rolling start as well, and not a standing start on this one.
Yes.
So, I mean, there is an advantage to be made with a standing start over a rolling start. But it is a rolling start, so everyone stays reasonably quite even on that start. So, let's see what happens, I suppose.
You want a stat?
Yeah, please.
Dan's third pole of the season. Averages P2 in qualifying 1. For Peaceful Explosion, huge boost that one, because his best qualifying was 4th. He's now got a front row start of 2nd. He's now averaged 7th. From what was 9th place he was averaging. He now averages 7th place with 1 pole position to his name in a race 2. The worst average qualifier is Phil, averaging 12th place, but he's qualified 14th twice and 8th once. So there we go. But
Yes, and I had the joy of a pole as well last night. Well, kind of. I pole by default.
Hey, pole to pole.
Pole's a pole, I suppose. Pole by default. Got a point for it. Oh, nice jump, D-Biggs. That was a beauty.
That was
He's obviously
a beauty.
going rallying in that car and not racing anymore. Just going to do a rally course. And he's done.
Now,
as
Crucial thing going into this championship, Kelly, this championship round here at the halfway stage. Dan gains an extra point for that pole position and is 11 cars ahead of his rival. So a huge advantage, a huge swing in Unorthodox' favour.
Yes, absolutely, and he'll be happy with that. The only man in the 43s, I was predicting a few more in the 43s, and we know Disco did one in
practice.
Yeah.
Did he not get the right track position, the right sort of slipstream or what? Not too sure.
Who knows?
The other thing to say as well is, me and Dan said this last night, we saw how dominant the BMWs was last week. I don't think they're done yet. I think Oschersleben and certain tracks may favour the BMW over the Porsche coming up. Is this a bite the bullet kind of race for these guys, like it was for yourself and Nicky, like it's going to be for Gary and Little H tonight? Just kind of grin and bear it, get this one out of the way.
Could well be, yeah, could well be. It could be just damage limitation, as everyone's done. And, it could be just damage limitation, you know. And, but, you know, again, I've said it before, I wrung the neck out of that Renault last night.
Yeah.
I wanted it on the podium more than I've ever wanted a podium in my entire life last night because someone was gobbing off. And, but I had to absolutely wring the neck of it. And, it's Disco in 9th, Andy, whatever he is, 11th or 12th or whatever he
12th,
is. They can do something from there. We know they can, you know. So, we'll see how the race pans out for sure.
Yep, that is the qualifying over then for this first qualifying of the evening. Round 11 will start like this, and Unorthodox from Peaceful, Fury and D-Biggs on row 2, with row 3 looking BT Targa and X-Mark because Sutty Apex gets demoted to 7th, so he'll be alongside his teammate Phil in 8th. Disco and Little Each will start 9th and 10th, with Gary 11th, Andy 12th, and Mazda not setting a time back in 13th place then. Who's your money on? Get your predictions in the chat as well. Who is your money on?
I tell you what, I was just looking at those, it's gone off our screen now, but the qualifying, I tell you what, Fury was quicker than everybody by I know exact date. He was in the 42s in the first sector in that Merc. He was the quickest man in the first sector in that Mercedes. Now, the Mercedes got the grunt on the straight. The infield is not its spot, it's not its place. So that's very interesting. I think Fury's a good shout for this one, but my money's on the boy, Unorthodox.
You think?
Yeah. I got faith in him. Yeah, he'll win this one. I think he's going to be under pressure, but he'll. That's my prediction. Dan for the win on this one.
I'm backing our other boy.
Our other boy.
I'm backing our boy. I'm not going to say his name.
I've only got one boy on the grid.
Nah, the one that me and you have cheered for since season whatever.
You mean
our boy?
Our boy.
Yeah.
Our boy. Right. Yeah, I would like to see. I'd love to see a good result there. That's for certain sure.
And after we've just said that, I'd like to officially, formally apologise to Peaceful Explosion for predicting him to win this race. And
when he was having such a good night.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Apologies, Peaceful Explosion.
Yes.
As you hear the rain, then, we are going to be underway with a formation lap. Now, did you notice the little glitch that the game gave us last night on race 2? Did you notice the right-hand side of the field pulled away a lot more than the left-hand side? It was as if you're...
Because I did notice it as Rabbit Joe pulled away from me. They all just jumped there as well, didn't they?
Because let's just state that all this bit here is all automated. Until the light goes green, this is all automated, so nobody controls this. Peaceful actually leads this race at the minute, according to the leaderboard as well. And we're green here, we're underway. It's green at Daytona, and we go then for this round 11 of the season. Fury and D-Biggs getting close in third and fourth, sorry. But it's Peaceful who's going to try and look around the outside. And look, has he got the legs on Dan around the outside? Dan then keeping it to the inside and getting that one back. Fury looking on Peaceful now, and them two rub on each other, but they give each other the space, and Fury's up to second place, and Peaceful losing out that one spot. Fury then was quickest in the first sector in qualifying. Is this where he can press you down on the infield early on in this lap? Dan from Fury from Peaceful. No, he's not.
You've ruined it. That's it.
Yeah.
Switch it off.
Yeah. X-Mark's had a cracking jump from 6th place. He's up to 3rd. Sutty's 4th with Phil in 5th place. Gary, he's come back from P11. He's all the way up into 6th. What a start from Gary. Now, was Peaceful a spin on his own because D-Biggs has dropped to P12 as well? So did them two make contact?
There's a good chance. I'm not getting any times on my screen, but the front two have checked out a little bit, and there's certainly a scrap for third downwards at the moment. As
Sutty's looking underneath Sutty's looking underneath Exmar, just in front of this. There he goes, just dropping off the oval a little bit. You won't want to do that too much. That will really unsettle the car, and you can tell Sutty look on the pad, just twitching that Lamborghini to get it straight. And now who's got the legs in a straight line? Lamborghini v Porsche. I think the Porsche's got the job done, but Sutty's up the inside line. Will Exmar yield the place? I tell you what, Gary's done very well to stay with them boys. He's off.
What did you say that
He's
for?
lost it at the bus stop chicane, and Gary's gone round there on his own. Peaceful's finishing last now, says Jamie in the chat, but Sutty's ahead of Exmar, and now Sutty is, I think, giving that place back. Now
yielding for something.
He did come across the bus stop chicane a little bit, and well respected to Sutty there to give that place back. But look at his teammate Phil up in P4. Mazda from 13th place is up to 6th, but the battle out front is 8/10 of a second, and Fury hassling the back of Dan.
Absolutely, he's within 3/4 of a second, and they're on the infield. And as I said, Fury was good in the infield, considering he hasn't got the car for it. But and that's X-Mark round in the background.
It is.
He spun it.
He has.
And
Phil gets past Sutty and Exmar. Mazda gets through. Little Each gets through. So does Andy then. And Andy up to 8th place. There's also a spinner. It's Peaceful. Peaceful's at turn 1. Has had another moment.
What's going on with Disco?
Yeah, what is going on with Disco? Sorry, I do know what is going on with Disco. He's hurt his back today and is suffering with a bit of back problems at the moment, so he might be struggling for the night. I forgot to mention that one, but Peaceful's had another moment at turn 1. That'll throw everybody off, won't it? Do you know what I mean? But Sutty and Phil here, 3rd and 4th, looking good for the two Northern boys.
Absolutely, yeah. They're in close company, that's for certain, sure. And it's all kind of spaced out and mixed up a little bit. We've still got Dan's out in front, and Fury is there keeping a watchful eye on him, a second behind. But these guys are now, there's now 6 seconds back, 6.5 seconds back to Phil and Sutty. These are teammates, these two. Having a good run, and Sutty having a look round the outside. As you can see, he's on the pad, and you've kind of, the way his car moves and whatever. That's not the way to do it.
That's twice that car's done that at the bus stop chicane. They've got Mazda approaching the back of them. I don't think to be long before Mazda will be on the rear of Sutty. Now, what's happened to Dan? Because he's lost 4 seconds. He's lost the race lead, and he's now 5 seconds behind Fury. I imagine bus stop chicane.
He's dropped it.
Yeah, he's dropped it big time, and he's closer to Sutty than he is to Fury at the moment. And Dan then making a mistake at the bus stop, maybe.
Yeah, I would have thought that's the spot, because that's probably one of the ones, the most easiest spot to make a mistake is through the bus stop, because you just try to take more and more speed, and then one time it will just catch you out. As you said with Mazda, he is caught onto the back of Sutty reasonably quickly. He was, look, he's coming up behind these two quite quickly now, and Andy's not far behind. X-Mark's recovering from that spin. So Dan, with it all to do,
Gary,
saying that, he's still ahead of the BMWs. He's ahead of Andy. So.
And that's the crucial one at the moment, isn't it, Kelly? To be ahead of the BMWs. Yes. Gary's got himself past BT Targa on the last lap. So Gary flying at the moment in that Renault. Really doing a good job in that so far to make it get up the field. Because, we say about Kelly last night and Nicky doing brilliantly, but this is a lot harder field to get that Renault through the pack at this kind of track. Gary now up to 8th as he gets past his brother and teammate Little Eacham. Peaceful's down in 11th at the minute.
He's dropped it.
He has dropped it. And he's dropped it big time because he's down to 4th. And that's a turn up for the Bucks. This is making it very interesting. Gotta be, because they've just come onto the oval, and Fury then. Well, Dan now has a 2.9 second lead over the two Lamborghinis. I'll tell you what, I'd bet you money that Sutty and Phil could lead this race at one stage tonight, because that's them two who have both dropped it. Fury more than Dan, though, you'd say.
It seems to have spoiled his, and that was on the infield, as I'm sure it is, because of where he came out when we worked it out. So, Fury had a bit of a spin part of the infield. As Fury's now on the back, look at the spray coming off the back of Sutty's car there. So he's now right on the back of Sutty again. And
there it is. Look at how much water there is on the track. So it's rained, and it's rained hard here. And pit window opens at the end of lap 4, unless the weather changes. But, the pit window's open at the next lap as Dan's about to cross line. Fury just giving Dan a tap. Flashing the lights here. I'm not sure what that one was all about, because, yeah, you know.
Well, so he came across.
He did a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, terrible that, when people do that.
It
What's
is,
that all about?
yeah. What is that all about? Fury then goes
What
to
is
the
that all
outside line, and can Sutty keep it up the inside? Phil as well. Oh, as Fury's just outbraked himself at turn 1, and
Yeah.
that'll allow Sutty to get away. Now, these guys, Phil has caught Dan a little bit on that straight, because Dan was 3 seconds at the beginning of the oval. It's 2.5 seconds now.
Dan wants to do some of his practicing what he preaches and just keeping it consistent. And we know he can. We know he can do it. Dan's not really under pressure from anybody. And if Phil did catch him and pass him, that wouldn't be the end of the world, because he's not in a championship fight with Phil. As Fury goes down the inside of Sutty, or tries to.
Good
I was going
move.
to say that turn one is very easy to defend if you've got the inside line.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I found it very easy to defend turn 1 time and time again.
You've proven
And
that last
probably-
year, didn't you, as well, last season?
Yeah,
Now, hang on. Sorry, Kelly. What's happened to Andy? Because he was in between Mazda and Xmart. He's now dropped behind them by a couple of seconds as well. And down to 7th. And has he made a mistake on the infield? He's clipped the wall now on the oval as Little Each went deep before the oval. Well, then, struggling is Andy at the moment.
It's everyone, really.
They're all having their own little individual errors, aren't they, at the minute? Yeah.
Yeah, they certainly are. Do you know what I mean? I mean, looking at the field from where we started, I mean, the only man who's kept position, I think, is Dan. And that's been up and down, to be fair.
Yeah, and he's had a moment at that. I think the only 3 men who's kept it on the track have been Mazda, Sutty and Phil. In fact, no, Sutty's not. He's been across the bus stop twice.
I mean, there's some big names at the back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Big,
huge.
Peaceful, Disco. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, BT, Gary.
Yeah. You know, lots of names, big names at the back at the moment. Do you know what I mean? So, it's good racing. That's what we want,
Yeah,
isn't
it is. It's great
Fury
racing.
Goes to the inside on Phil.
Gets that one done. Nice and easy.
As I said, the inside is the place to be.
And there's Sutty and Phil then. Great race for the team Run Flat Racing boys. We're really up there and really enjoying this one. I know Sutty always seems to go well at Daytona when he's not in an Acura. As Gary then comes into the pits. Now, has it stopped raining? Because I can't see a lot on my screen.
No, and if it's going to change the weather, then these guys are going to have tyres at some point. That's not a quick enough. That was not a long enough stop for tyres.
That's too quick. That's too quick a stop for a tyre change there. So is Gary predicting it to not change weather? And is he predicting it to not dry up? Should I say not change weather? Because I don't think it's raining anymore. There doesn't seem to be any rain. Just jump on board Gary a second.
Yeah. I was gonna. What do we want? Cockpit.
Let's listen. Yeah, there's no rain hitting the roof. So
Nothing on the windscreen.
No, nothing. You could tell earlier last night when Dan went on board somebody, and you could hear it hitting the car. So no rain. Rain has stopped. So will the track dry out?
Right.
If so, has Gary and BT
fast?
put the slick tyres on? Because I don't think Gary did.
No, I don't think he did. Not on the length of that stop. Not really. Now, how quickly will it dry up?
Yes.
Again, I tried it on slick. I tried to stay on slicks, and it did stop raining, and I started to go quicker, but nothing like quick enough. Do you know what I mean? It didn't happen quick enough. It didn't dry out fast.
Well, the rain
you know?
stopped. It's lap 5 of 17, so we've still got a lot of laps left to go. Dan coming in now. In this early, you could
put slicks on?
Yeah. I can't see why people would pit this early if they're not pit now if they're not looking at the slick tyre. I don't get why. Mazda's been overtaken by Xmart at some point of this race, not quite sure where. But this, I reckon, is going to be a tyre change for Dan. Not that the mechanics proving that one. As Andy comes in as well.
Oh, hang on. It's taking some time. So
I think this is a tyre change.
Anybody who's not familiar with this game, we don't actually see it happening. That could be. That was a long stop.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Going to be interesting to see what his grip levels are when he comes up.
Interesting to see his pace, because look at Fury. Fury's just dipped into the 150 as a 150.6 as Peaceful comes into the pit stop as for the first time tonight. And again, I can only apologise to Peaceful Explosion, but in comes Dan, Andy, and Peaceful in and out then. Now,
yes, absolutely.
The question for me, Gary gets the jump on Peaceful and Gary gets the jump on Andy here. So Gary definitely did not change tyre. Now, Gary and Little each one time played a strategy where they ran the slick tyre. Have they done that again?
They were moving too quickly to be on the slick tyre. As I said, I run it last night. There's no way. They're both very capable drivers. I've got the utmost respect for both of them, but I don't think they could have pulled off those kind of lap times at the beginning of the race on slicks.
Let's keep our eyes on Gary's pace and on what he does if he has to pit again or anything, because if he's pulled off that kind of strategy, that's something that could get the Renault up there tonight. Really could.
Yeah. Oh, and that won't, though.
No, that won't at all. As he goes around then. So Fury leads his race from Phil from Sutty. They're just a second and a half behind. X-Mart's up in fourth ahead of Mazda at the moment, as here's Andy to come and get past Gary, as he doesn't then, as they go onto the oval. And Sutty's just got past Phil as Phil comes into the pits.
Yeah, I just missed it. There
so
we go. Phil,
let's see then. Dan's P8. Phil stop.
Yeah.
Definitely got to be a tyre change stop. Where does Phil come out in relation to Dan? He was about 3 or 4 seconds behind Dan before the pit stops. Yep. Let's see where he comes out in relation to Dan after this pit stop. Lap 7 of 17, so 11 laps still to go in this race. Definitely a tyre change again.
Yep. As I was saying when we were on Daniel stop, we don't actually see it happening. One thing, I mean, Project Cars 2 is a great game, although it is getting very dated now.
Where's Dan?
Where is Dan?
Coming into turn one, so he's just got Phil done as D Biggs has pitted. I thought that was a bit closer, there, because Phil left the pits and Dan hadn't come round. Yeah. But no, job done then for Dan. D Biggs into the pit lane then, so can Sutty stay out a little longer? And Sutty into the 49s now, so he's going well as Andy's on the outside of Gary at the minute, coming round the oval and break into turn one. Gary will be able to stay in front, and Andy runs very, very deep there at turn one.
Yeah.
And yeah, really deep there is Little Each. He looks like he's had a moment just coming onto the oval as he gets going now. You see in the background, away he goes. I love that camera angle of this corner where you get to see it from the top.
Yes.
Brilliant camera angle then.
The corner looks nothing like that in the car, does
No,
it?
it doesn't. And then you see it from the overhead and it looks like, you look at that there and you think, I could take so much speed through that corner. You get on the track and it's like a lot tighter than what it looks.
And it's very easy to lose the back end on that one as well.
Yeah, it is.
On the traction.
Yeah, really is. Mazda P4 behind X-Mart. That one's a bit of a surprise to me that Mazda's not got closer to Sutty yet and past X-Mart, but Sutty within a second of Fury now. That's why Fury's decided to bring it into the pits at the end of lap 7, as is Sutty Apex. Now, Sutty and Fury in. Tyre change imminent. X-Mart's followed as well. Mazda's followed as well. So they're all starting to come in on lap 7. Has Dan's strategy worked? Will he get ahead of these? Will he jump Sutty and Fury? That's the big question. He'll jump X-Mart and Mazda, that's a given. Fury's away. Where's Sutty?
Sutty came in next, didn't he?
Yeah, Little Leach is in. Sutty's now away. So Fury's...
Dan?
Yeah, Dan's there. Dan will get these, I reckon. But the question is by how much? So that engine you hear going round, that's Dan coming round the start straight now in towards turn 1. Fury's not yet off the limiter. Dan leads this race by quite a mile. Quite a margin then for Dan. Sutty comes out. Phil gets the jump on his teammate. Can he get the jump on Fury by undercutting? I think he went a bit deep at turn 1. Yeah, he did. He's got the jump on his teammate.
On those tyres, isn't he?
Getting him up to temperature, I think, is going to be the key for Phil. He's jumped his teammate, and Sutty drops to 4th, but he hasn't jumped Fury there then. So the undercut working for Dan. And Dan, the first man onto the slick tyre, really has paid dividends for Andy. He's only down his 7th, so that early stop didn't really do a lot for him.
No. Interesting bit of strategy with these guys, but Dan's obviously played it well. I thought he was a little bit early.
Oh, we've lost Disco from this race.
Oh, that's unfortunate. And he can't blame it on the sunshine, Matt.
No. Might be able to blame it on the moonlight.
He could blame it on the good times.
Or he could just blame it on whatever mistake he made in terms of retiring.
Absolutely.
Yeah. As we head into this...
I hope you heard that one, Disco.
Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah.
We worked on that.
That one,
wow.
Yeah. All day
Probably
that took me to think
like
that one.
Whites. Do you know what I mean? It was like 2 Ronnies. It was 4 candles. You know what I mean? All day long. That was
now
absolute genius.
the big one for me here. 3.5 seconds Fury to Dan. Track's drying. We know on a dry track, this is Mercedes dominance. How quick does Fury catch Dan? How far can Mazda get up the field? How far can Peaceful get up the field as he's on the back of Little Each trying to get past for P8? Fury, there you see Dan, 3.7 behind him. What's the situation for the Mercedes at the minute?
Yeah, and it's looking pretty dry there, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
Mind you, the oval doesn't look bad when you're on it and in the wet and whatever. It's the infield that was worse. Yeah, look, you're starting to see some lights across the sheen of the wet through there. I say the oval seems to dry out quite nicely, but it's the infield and the chicane, the bus stop chicane stays treacherous for quite a while.
Well, Fury here has gained a bit of time. He's gained 3 tenths in this opening. Now let's not forget, Fury in the dry in qualifying was fastest through this first sector of the track.
He was.
And look at the amount of time he's gained on Dan this lap. He was 3.8 behind before turn 1, before he braked into turn 1. He's now 3.2, so he is coming on Dan here. He's really starting to put the hammer down.
Yeah, indeed.
Another man as well, Mazda, within 6 tenths of X-Mart. Sutty's dropped it somewhere because he's now gone in between them. So this man could smell blood on the oval section here with a double toe from the Porsche and the Lamborghini.
We'll stay on board, I think.
I think you could be right. I think this could be a good chance to see that pulling power of the Mercedes-Benz. Dan in the 47s, Phil in the 48s, Peaceful in the 46s. Where can that man end up by the end of this? But look at Mazda going high side. Here is the Mercedes of Mazda. 13 started this race, which means 6 can qualify for the next one. And look at Mazda, he's pulling past that Lamborghini like it stood still.
Yeah. Look at him gaining on the Porsche all the time.
Into the bus stop he comes now then, and he's got the job done on Sutty. Sutty now down to P6, and you reckon this could be Mazda's best chance. Fury's got the gap down to 2.7, so he's charging on Dan as well.
The key here, if you're being chased like this, and not quite close enough yet, but the key is the car that's being chased needs to stick to that inside line.
Yeah.
Right, I follow that exactly what X-Mart's doing there. He wants to tuck right to that inside line, make it so difficult for the chasing car. Because look, this is where you really start to reel it in.
Look at the Merc.
Say, it wasn't quite as close to show off that example as well as I would have liked. But we'll stay with this for a minute or two.
We will, as Fury, just to say, was the second quicker than Dan on that last lap. A 45.7. Fury is flying at the minute, and Peaceful's matching that pace of Fury, so really showing what the Lamborghini can do. And in fact, Sutty's had another moment because he's dropped down behind Andy and is now behind Peaceful Explosion. Peaceful finds himself 7 seconds off the back of Andy and running at some great pace. Peaceful could find himself in that top 6 and not able to qualify as this race goes on. He's currently about 15 seconds off the back of this battle here, and at the moment this Mazda's closer this time round, isn't it, to X-Mart?
Yeah, now watch, here we go, watch this now. The Porsche is no slouch.
Oh no.
But the Mercs are much better. And now this is kind of prime slipstream spot right here. He may not get him before the chicane, but I reckon he'll be right on him by the time he gets... Oh, I don't know, actually. Look at it. Starting to reel it in. He's right in the right place.
I think the thing is, though, he's by the time he gets to X-Mart, set him up. Yeah. And Mazda, look, and you see Mazda braked and left it off a little bit earlier there. Knows that his chance to get past X-Mart is after this bus stop. Get a good exit. And let's not forget, Mazda did 24 hours off this track. He did the whole 24 hour in our first 24-hour event. He does, as he now is in that toe of X-Mart. Did X-Mart just get a better run through the bus stop chicane than Mazda? But here comes the Mercedes-Benz. You see it gaining. Fury's got the gap down to 2 seconds exactly. Only a couple of tenths quicker than Dan on the last lap. But let's not forget, they're both running without a slipstream. That is natural Merc pace over the Porsche. And look at Mazda now. X-Mart tucks to the inside. Has Mazda got enough to go all the way around? Has he got enough?
No, I don't think he has.
He has. Oh, he's done him. Yes, he has. He's done him.
Yes.
Mazda then around the outside, and X-Mart kept it tucked. He did exactly what KLF said, or what Kelly said, but his tyres may not have been as sticky on the inside as he was on the outside.
Maybe. As I say, defending that one is quite easy on the inside, but Mazda certainly made it happen around X-Mart. And again, X-Mart's no slouch.
No slouch. No.
He's a champion on other leagues, so he knows what he's doing. So good move there from Maz. And gap up front seems to have equalised a little bit now, doesn't it?
It does a little bit. And BT Targa's back in the pits, so I'm not sure what's happened there. But 2.3 the gap. Is Dan just starting to gain a bit more on the infield over Fury? But this is where Fury will really make up a lot of time over that Porsche. It really will. That Mercedes will really gain on this part. He's got to get this bus stop. The exit from the bus stop is crucial there. Bit of track limits from Fury, that one. Gains a couple of tenths and he gives Dan a flash. Fury looking for back-to-back wins because he won the second race at Red Bull Weeks. This will be like the London buses, as Kieran Argent once said, if Fury could win this race.
Yes, yes indeed. And
look, sorry, just want to direct your attention. Peaceful, 4 seconds off the back of Andy at the moment as well. So he's going great guns at the minute.
yes, Peaceful is, and an unfortunate spin at the beginning of things has made it very difficult for him because he's certainly got the pace. Yeah, look, this track is, I mean, it's still a bit damp here through this section.
Yeah.
But obviously, the guys are going to find more and more grip, aren't they, as it starts to dry out.
Every lap that goes by, they're just going to, the tyres are going to get better, the track conditions are going to get better. Even though the temp's going down a little bit and cooling as we get later into the night, the track conditions are just going to improve every single lap.
Yes, they are. So fights on track. Little Leach is just going around, trying to go around the outside of Sooty.
Yeah, I think Sooty's got damage here. I'm not sure what's happened to Sooty. He's dropped right back.
Yeah, something's not going right, is it? Because, see, when the Renault gets in the slipstream, you do have the opportunity to stay with it a little bit. And I got in the slip for a while of the Mercs and was kind of could hold station with them for a while, but as soon as you break out of that slipstream, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, Peaceful getting the time into the 44s with a 44.7, so he is a man on a mission at the moment, and nice and steady through turn 2 he goes. Plenty of fuel on board that Mercedes, and really now, sorry, not turn 2, he's coming onto the oval. That's how far through the infield he is. He's really now trying to get in that slipstream of that BMW. Well, 1.6, he might just start to feel the benefits, especially as that time's come down through the corner. Andy didn't get a great run onto the oval there because Peaceful's gained on him. Look, that time's gone down to a second gap, and Peaceful now will definitely start to feel the benefits of the slipstream from Andy's BMW here as BT Target into the pits once again, and on the chase view of the Mercedes. Oh, he brakes late. Andy just scrapes the wall, and I thought Peaceful there, he needed to brake a bit earlier than that, but manages to get it done. Still a lot of spray in the bus stop as well, but this is now Peaceful's best opportunity. This is where he'll get the run. I think Andy's basically giving him that inside.
Yeah. I don't know what quite Andy's doing up there.
No, it's a strange one, but maybe he knows that Merc's just going to fly past, and Andy drops to 7th place, gets back in the tow of Peaceful Explosion, and Peaceful up to top 6 then, cannot qualify for this second race, and 11 seconds back to X-Mart. Has he got time to reel that one in? It's a second a lap. No.
I'll tell you what, X-Mart is still keeping Mazda honest, you know.
Yes,
after,
surprised.
Yeah.
Surprised at that.
Very honest.
Yeah. Very surprised that Mazda's not started to gain on Phil a little bit more. Andy's got back ahead of Peaceful. Peaceful. Oh, he's had a moment.
Oh, he's dropped it.
He's had a moment.
Mike. One day.
One
Peaceful. Day he'll be genius.
Yeah. So then, Mike running it Peaceful, running in the 44s again, keeping that good pace. X-Mart sticking to the back of Mazda like glue, you'd kind of say here. That gap is 0.8 of a second. He'll just get a bit of slipstream from Mazda, but you imagine this is where Mazda will start to pull away that little bit more. The gap's 0.9 of a second. You just see it going up a couple of thousandths after thousandths. In fact, it comes down a bit, goes back up immediately as Mazda now gets that gap exactly to a second. Fury, 1.8 off the back of Dan on lap 13 of 17.
Yeah, now he was only 2 point away as it goes up to 2.1, 2.3, depending on where they are on track, really. But it's kind of stabilised at about 2 seconds,
hang on.
isn't it? Really?
That went very strange here because it dropped to 0.9 of a second as Dan crossed the line there. So I don't know what's gone off with the timing streaks. It was 2 seconds, then dropped to 0.9. I thought Dan had made a mistake, but now look at how close Fury is. Did Dan make a mistake at turn 1?
Maybe went a bit deep at turn 1, but. Yeah, because he seems to be closer now, doesn't he?
0.7 of a second is the gap between Fury and Dan. And Fury here, straight after his first win, looking for his second one. And this is a guy who's really improving and really getting better. Mazda now starting to gap X-Mart as Peaceful looks to hunt down Andy once again. And look at the gap coming down.
Yeah, a bit deep into that one. He can run it round the outside and not lose too much. Just outbraked himself a little bit. But as I said, he can slingshot round the outside of the corner and get back on it, which he did.
I'm going to have a guess here.
Yeah.
Fury's going to get Dan.
Really? Is that your guess?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. As I say, I mean, Fury's prime time in the slip now. This is for the race lead, and he's not gaining at a rate of knots.
Steady, wasn't it? It's very steady, not like Mazda to Exmart.
I wonder if Fury's got a reasonable amount of downforce on this car.
Oh, he got a better... I tell you what, I think you're right, because he got a hell of a run through the bus stop chicane, and look at how close he is to Dan now on the banking. The slipstream coming into effect even more, but like you say, he's not gaining like Mazda did on Exmart, is he?
No, not at all. And I think Fury's running a fair amount of downforce. That's why he's so quick on the infield.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's even Stevens here, really, you know?
I think you're right. Now, into turn 1, down at 46.5, definitely suggesting that he made a mistake that turn 1 last time round. Fury in the 44s, and look at how close they are now. Left, right, left.
No. Yeah, Dan's going to cover that one off.
Yeah, Fury looking for that undercut then as Dan will go out wide and taking that nice race line. Fury ever so close now, right on the exhaust of Unorthodox. Porsche versus, what was nice to see is we've got 3 different manufacturers in the top 3 here on the podium. Big wiggle from both of them.
Yeah, as soon as he put that wheel on the curb, I thought that's going to unsettle it. And again, you don't want to be there. You know that, Fury. When you're on those curbs, especially after rain, you're going to, I'm surprised he didn't turn it round, but he's looking for...
Oh, look how wet that part of the circuit was. And now who gets the run onto the oval? I think Dan got better traction out the corner, but 0.2 is a second. Just under a tenth it drops to now. Just under 0.2 it drops to now. Fury's closer. It's that slipstream. It seems to be doing a little more now. He's closer to Dan. Just seems to be getting that little bit closer. But is he going to make a go at the bus stop? They're pulling out. They're having a look. They're too wide. And Dan squeezing Fury to the wall. He's not going to do it. I tell you what, he's keeping it around the outside. Dan gives him massive respect. And what a move from Fury into the lead.
Nice.
That was one of the moves of the season.
Yes, that was nice, but it ain't over, my friend.
It isn't over. Exmart has got Mazda back, and Mazda's dropped a couple of seconds behind Exmart as well. And here comes Dan. He pulls to the outside now. Anything Fury can do, Dan can do better. Is he going to go the long way around at turn 1?
It's hard from out there.
It is hard from out there. You know all about this with Kieran Argent last year. And Dan breaks earlier than Fury and runs deeper than Fury. What a manoeuvre from Fury that was. That was brilliant.
Yes, was nicely done. It isn't easy to overtake someone through that chicane. Dan goes much tighter.
Yeah, I think that compromised his run on the exit to that corner there.
Compromised his exit from tucking it in quite so tight. Yes, it's not easy to overtake in that chicane and keep it so clean. But you're quite right. Dan gave him the utmost respect there. And they got close there, didn't they? Did. Dan gave him the utmost respect and gave him a perfect racing room to get that manoeuvre done.
Now,
but as I said,
again.
Dan goes close again. Dan's all over him like a cheap suit.
Isn't it? Is Dan urgent to get back into this race lead? Now, Mazda got passed by Exmart. Exmart's now had a moment somewhere because he's dropped way behind Mazda and could be having Andy attacking for these last... We're on the penultimate lap, flipping it. We were only on lap 13 a minute ago. Now Fury's attacked down. We're on lap 16. I'm in awe over that move. That was beautiful from Fury. Round the outside at the bus stop. That takes cojones.
Yes, indeed. He pulled it off an absolute treat. So, that was a bit deep there, Dan. And it did him no good. He's lost off the back of Fury. At what point does Dan go, well, it's better to... mind you, Dan could afford a spin with, a lap and a half to go. He's got 15 seconds.
You say a lap and a half. One lap. We're at the line now. We're starting the final lap of this race, Kelly.
Okay, got one lap.
Oh, he's cut underneath us, Dan. Is he looking to outbrake Fury into turn 1? Can't get it done and has to go that bit deep to make sure he doesn't go into the back. Fury defending brilliantly well here and just making sure that what Dan does isn't working as little. Each is on the back of Sutty's. So Sutty's race has gone from bad to worse in this one. Dan up the inside and he gets Fury done. Does Fury cut back? He's looking to. And has he got the move done? I tell you you what a cutback from Fury, but he's not got it
this
done
is gonna
yet.
be interesting.
Dan and Fury side by side into the quick left-hander. You don't want to be on the outside there, but Fury says, I do, and I take the lead back. And Dan, come on, mate, you've got to give him a bit more than this, because Fury is having a field day out there.
Mr. Outside, isn't he?
Tell you what,
round the outside.
them Christmas tunes have really pumped him up tonight. Fury is walking in a winter's wonderland because he looks like he's going to take back-to-back race wins, and Dan doesn't seem to have an answer for him. Fury round the outside twice. That has been impressive.
Yes, indeed. Two cracking moves from Fury. I hope he hasn't peaked.
Yes. Well, he was teammates with Argent last year. He's picking up the London buses today. Race 2 victory last weekend at round 10, round 11 victory. But, I mean, it's not done yet. Bus stop to navigate. That one's job done from Fury. Now, 0.3 of a second. Can Dan get that slipstream? I don't think so. Squeaky bum time again, says Fury's mum in the chat. Phil in third. Go on, says Smithy as well. Brilliant battle from Fury's granddad. Exciting, says Peaceful Stepdad. And you're all exactly spot on with that one. And it is going to be Fury who once again will take a victory here. And it's a first for Fury. Not without Dan pushing him to the line on Orthodubs will get a P2. But what a battle from Fury. I tell you what, that was fantastic. And great to see Phil then running in a P3, and Phil does not look like he's going to get beaten. It's been a while since Phil's been on the podium. He has every right to have an early flash. What a job from this man. A P3. Good result from Phil. Mazda looks like he's going to come across for 4th place. Not bad from 13th on the grid. He can't qualify. He'll be starting by the back again. X-Mart, what happened to him? Seems having a cracking little battle with Mazda all night there. He's going to be P5 in this one then. Andy, not the race for the BMWs. Yeah,
that's a surprise for me. I didn't expect to see Andy back here at all.
P6 with damage, it looks, to the front of that BMW. Yeah. Look, he's had a moment somewhere. Peaceful, what could have been. He's had the pace and a couple of mistakes. I'll know not to jinx him again. That's BT Targa in front, who's a lap down in 12th place then. And that is Peaceful. 6th place, so Peaceful can qualify. Peaceful down can qualify then, as Little Each did get past Sooty Apex, as did D Biggs. And this one, P8 for Little Each. I think that's a great result for that Renault. D Biggs is going to come across 9th place yet again, and it's another result where D Biggs will just be thinking, when will I catch a break here? Sooty is down in 10th place and can qualify. What happened to him? Because he was running so well to start with. Gary down in 11th place. Not the result he'd have been hoping for. We wait for fastest lap, but Kelly, what a start to the evening.
Yes, absolutely. What a start to the evening. And Daytona never fails to disappoint, does it? There's always plenty to talk about and always plenty going on. But you called it right. You called Fury for the win, and that's exactly what he did. He did it towards the end, but he got it done. And a couple of cracking moves from Fury. I'm sure Dan will be metaphorically shaking his hand in the interviews for sure.
Yeah, Peaceful in the chat. Congrats, Fury and Dan. That was a poor start after spinning tyres, ballooned, so it took a while to get going. Fastest lap of the race, a 44.719 for Fury. Close to Peaceful Explosion, to be fair, but it is the Mercedes of Fury that takes the fastest lap. So an extra bonus point to go with it. We'll be right back in just a moment with interviews from the top 3 and the second qualifying of the night, where Peaceful, Little Each, D-Big, Sooty, Gary, BT Targa and Disco McDisco Face can all qualify. So don't go anywhere. In fact, tell you what, go and grab yourself a cup of coffee, cup of tea, get a juice, get a beer, a glass of wine, go and have a toilet break, grab yourself some refreshments, and join us back in about 5-10 minutes. That was one of the greatest moves I think I've seen. The bus stop chicane. I thought that's a tricky place to do it. I think that's what makes the move even better, with the fact of how much respect Dan gives him. I think when you look at a move like that, you have to look at the respect of the other driver, as well as if Fury pulled off a great send-it manoeuvre, you think, fucking hell, yeah, that was brilliant. Yeah. But you could also then go, fucking hell, Fury around the outside there. Yeah. You've caused a massive incident with you and Dan.
it's very easy to go from hero to zero. And remember my Dubai one where I hit Dean.
Yeah.
If Dean hadn't come across at that particular point, that would have been a hero's move. Do you know what I mean? And it's Dan gave him the proper respect. So yeah.
Oh no, I think that's what makes the move better, is the fact that it was proper driving from two people who were just full on racing each other.
Yeah. How do you feel about that one, Dan? Oh right. Okay. You just stepped on a plug.
No. Okay. Oh man, I'm so annoyed. No.
Why? Why are you annoyed?
I could have had that win. I had the run. I just messed the chicane up. I had to lift ever so slightly because I did take limits. So I lifted before we got to the banking, and I was like, shit.
Yeah, you got to say though, fucking good drive from Fury.
Oh, amazing drive. Very mature. He was just picking at me lap for lap, and I made one mistake in turn one, and he was on my ass.
That was a good drive though, Dan. That was a really good drive.
Yeah. I was looking at Andy and Disco the whole time and thinking, what are they doing?
I think Disco's had a problem with Gary.
Yeah, he said it. He said in the chat, didn't he?
Yeah.
Biggs was caught up in an incident at the start, but he's not going into the Discord and shouting it about, is he? So.
Yeah, well, Disco has a tendency to whinge, doesn't he?
Hopefully Fury and Phil get in. Right, I'm just going to pop for a quick toilet break, grab a drink, and I'll be back in 2.
Yep. All right, mate. Woo! Yeah, good drive.
I timed the tyre switch to perfection.
Yeah, we were almost wondering if you. Yeah, I said it was too early. I thought you went a lap too early, but it wasn't, was it?
The only wet bit was turn 1.
Right.
So by the time I got back around, it was drying. The rest of the track was bone dry, pretty much. The bus stop was a
bus stop was what? Sorry.
A bitch.
A bitch. Yeah.
Is that
where you dropped it? Did you drop it there a bit?
Yeah, I dropped it
early
there.
On. Yeah.
Only lost out to Fury. Here he is. Here he is. Congratulations, bud. Well deserved. I had nothing on you on the straights. Nothing. But
is it right to say that I'm having a heart attack from almost?
Mate, my hand is shaking. My hand's shaking. My heart is going.
Oh my god!
I was flashing you because you were being a bit cheeky through the chicane.
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 That's why you were flashing me.
I was flashing at you because you were track limits. I was like, hey,
I was following you.
There was a few times you went both wheels on the grass, and I was a bit like,
There's that. I didn't know if you had it or not because I don't know. Well, I imagine so. There's that puddle. As you're coming out with the right hand, there's that puddle there. I kept clipping that, and it kept putting the back end. Oh.
You were too fast.
Good drive though. Yeah, you want to heard the hard on that Matt got about on your move when you overtook down through the chicane. My God, yeah.
It was a fair move. Like we went side by side through that chicane. How we managed to go through that and get through that puddle and not drop it, I will never know.
I said you gave him proper respect, Dan. Do you know what I mean? That could have ended up really badly. You two had to work together for that to happen. I was actually more impressed when you went round the outside the second time, Fury, on the infield. Where that fast left-hander is, I'm like, nah, you ain't going round there. You ain't going to do it there, and you did. So, yeah, fair play, man.
Move of the season.
I'll probably ask this question when we get back on the stream. Are you running quite high downforce on that though?
Well, I seen there was rain and the start of race 1, so I upped it because I wasn't sure how bad.
Yeah, you ran high downforce. You definitely. I was running low downforce.
2 and 8, I think, because of the rain. If I didn't, then it would have been 2 and 4.
In quali, I think your infield, your first sector was faster than anybody.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah, and do you know what I mean? I'm like, he's running high downforce on that, and you weren't. Although you caught the Porsche in a straight line, it wasn't as easy as some of the other guys we were watching. Like Peaceful catching on the back of Xmart, I think it was.
Mazda.
He reeled him in. Mazda catching on the back of X-Mart. He reeled him in at a rate of knots. And you weren't doing that, but you were reeling down in. So I did kind of guess you on.
I think X-Mar's running my setup as well, so it's exactly the same.
Yeah. Mazda just kind of come up behind him and just at a rate of knots.
Well,
Mazda's like one of those maniac drivers that just drives with like no downforce.
There's a chat to be had at Donington, Daniel, about him.
About who?
Okay.
Not going to say while my personal stream's on.
And my stream's on.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not say anything. Let's just have a chat.
Can I just, because obviously we're not live at the minute, can I get a hi yeah in Dan's chat, please?
It's like fucking kindergarten.
Yep. You wait. You see nothing. You wait till this weekend.
mate, no, just no. You don't know me. Dan will tell you what I'm like when I've had a drink.
Is it going to be your missus looking after all of us? Her and Beth. Her and Beth babysitting everyone.
Yeah.
Could be. Could well be.
Do you know what? I'm really happy for Phil getting a podium.
Yeah, same. No, mega. I think Phil at times goes under the radar.
When I came out of, what was it, lap 2 or 3 when Fury dropped it, I was like, holy shit, both Lamborghinis are second and third. I was like, what the fuck?
Don't know what happened to Sutty, but mega happy for Phil. Phil at times, for me, goes under the radar.
Yeah.
Speak of the devil. Well done, mate.
Congrats, bud.
You say his name 3 times, he pops up. Congratulations.
Yeah, well done, Phil.
I thought he was going to catch me at one point.
This has been a while, Phil. Been a while.
I was well happy seeing both Lamborghinis behind me. I was like, yeah, boys, you take points away from the BMWs. I'll be well happy with that.
Right.
What happened with Disco?
Retired. Something about Gary, I think.
Something, yeah.
Nothing's ever his fault, I swear.
Let's get ready to go. 12 points in it, Dan.
What, even with Andy's double points?
Mm-hmm.
I still got to use mine.
Yep. That's because
that makes me nervous where to use it now.
Andy has scored, like his points have been like 31, 33, 51, 38. Yours have been like 46, 40, 53, 42 before tonight. Your drop scores are pretty similar, but when you've scored big.
Yeah. Well, I knew tonight I needed to gain something on them.
So far, so good.
So far, I'll just probably jinx myself.
Yeah. You'll be alright. Just keep it cool. They're obviously struggling round here.
Knew they would.
I love my podium pole position lap.
Yeah, I don't know if we caught it, but
yeah.
You're one of only 2 in the 43s.
The one where the bright yellow BMW just went straight through the bus stop.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Shh. Welcome back to SimPlay Motorsport then, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back here with the top 3 in for a interview, and a special guest is third place because it's been so long since we've heard from him, but we'll go through the championship standings at the moment. Andy leads the way by 12 points from unorthodox. Fury puts himself in third place, and I tell you what, 75 points off the back of Andy, double points still to play. I would not count Fury out at this stage. Disco sits 4th, Gary still in 5th place, 8 points ahead of BT Targ, with X-Mart now up into 7th, D-Big stays in 8th, Peaceful moves up 1 into into 9th with Sutty dropping into 10th place. Little Leach is 11th. Monkey Boy in 12th. Phil 13th. 5 points off the back of him. And then it's Jamie Master and that Bozzy Boy, the Constructors title. It goes like this. Slingshot Motorsport 44 points clear of Shake and Bake now. Team Prolapse are still third ahead of Leachy Losers. Wakasaki Racing gaining on the Leachy Losers though, as GQ Motorsport slightly in front of Run Flat Racing and Iron Brew Racing, SimPlay Racing at the bottom. And we'll start with our special guest. It's probably been since season 2, because I don't think we spoke to him season 3. I don't think he quite got on the podium with the best car in the field. But Phil, nice to be back on the third step. Daytona's a track obviously we've done since season 1. It's a track we all know quite well. The Lamborghini looks good round here. Ah. How? Your teammate was running well for a while. What happened to Sutty towards the end? Oh, really? Oh, brilliant. Right then. Race 2, buddy. What can we do from towards the back half of the field? Well, wish you the best luck, mate.
Phil,
sorry. Go on, Kelly.
No, I don't have a question. I just don't think I've ever spoke to Phil on the podium, so I thought I'd have the opportunity and go, nice to see you here, Phil. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And let's try and make a bit more of a habit of it, shall we? Yeah, I'll see you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so we'll talk to you again in about 20, 30 minutes' time, yeah?
Best of luck, buddy.
Good luck, mate.
Got Dan in as well, and Dan, you led this race for quite a while here, but boy oh boy, was that move special.
Wow. Gotta take my hat off to Fury. He did a fantastic job. Fair, clean racing from him. The young Prolapse team are producing young driver talent, and Fury is one of them. And I had no answer for him in the corner, in the banking. In the corners, I could stick with him and get his toe, but in the end of the day, he gave me space, I gave him space, and the better man won.
Halfway through the season is this race now. We know obviously the fights with Slingshot Motorsport, but have you kind of got one eye on Fury in the title?
Fury's a dark horse. I think this circuit definitely suits his car, and there's going to be a couple more that I think will suit him, but there's going to be circuits that are going to benefit the Porsche a lot more. So I have got one eye on him, but I know I have consistency over Fury, so we'll see how things panned out for the rest of the season.
In terms of your race, Dan, it was a pretty eventful one. You had a mistake early on, and a quiet one from there on until them last couple of laps. What happened at the early incident?
I'm not entirely sure. I just kind of... oh yeah, I remember the bus stop. There's a weird, horrible puddle in the second half of it, and as I hit that puddle, the car just went light and snapped on me. And that was it. I was behind Fury again. But before even we got racing, I'm an iron about running slicks at the start, knowing that the rain would be so long and then it would pass. But I'm kind of glad I started wet. So I was trying to do a Gary, but in the end, I felt the wets was the only option, being at the front. But yeah, quiet. Knew when it was going to dry out. Put the slicks on. And then just kind of focused on doing good lap times to give myself enough of a gap to Fury.
Well, that leads on to my second question, Dan. Is you was the first guy of the pit stop runners to pit for the slicks. Was it dry enough when you pitted, or did you feel that the first lap maybe on the slick tyres was going to be a bit sketchy?
I found the end of Sector 3, the banking, and just the end of Sector 2 was the driest spots. And I could hear my tyres screeching in the wets, and I didn't want to burn them out and waste the grip.
Yeah.
So I thought a warmer set of softs and a drying track should hopefully give me the advantage, which it did. The only sketchy moment was turn 1. That was about as wet as it was, but it eventually dried out, and I think Fury just had more confidence.
Race 2, mate, you start from P12. What can you do?
Stay out of trouble, score points, and see if I can catch these BMWs and gain more points on them. Fury and Peaceful, I expect to be disappeared into the distance and into the night, so score points.
Best of luck, buddy. We wish you all the best.
Good luck, Dad.
Thank you very much.
And Fury, he's here again. And just want to say, by the way, Phil came from P8 to score that podium on the grid in Q1. So what a job from Phil in that one. But Fury, race winner, you was teammates with Argent. And, you know, we've heard in the past that Argent's like a London busser too. Well, you've just had a London bus yourself because one win brings two, mate. And the form is there at the moment.
Yeah, I put a bit more downforce on the car because I seen the rain coming at the end of quali, so I went a bit more downforce to play it safe for the race, like at the start of the race, and it kind of messed it up.
Now, saw a video of you earlier, very nice. Was it the Christmas tunes that put you in the mood for this race win?
That and the confidence in how I know how quick the Merc is around here.
Yeah, the Merc, brilliant around here, mate. You pulled. Let's talk about the move. Was you ever at thoughts to back out of that move, or what was you thinking? Because I mean, the outside of the bus stop, not an easy place to overtake. You got to have a lot of trust in the person you're overtaking.
I have a lot of faith in Dan because I know he's an amazing driver. So I just decided to stick with my gut, go side by side, get that line and get the exit and just try and get in front of him.
Not only that one, you did him where Peaceful's coming up to now, which is round the outside of the quick left-hander as well. That was a brave one at the same time.
Yeah, that one scared me a bit.
Yeah. That scared all of us, to be fair. Yeah, I didn't think you were going to make that one stick, but you certainly did. I think Matt Duffin is your new #1 fan because you want to go back and hear how much he ranted and raved about your bus stop chicane manoeuvre. But for me, the other one in that on the infield, that was for me. That was awesome drive. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Race 2, mate.
I really think you're a contender for this one now.
Race 2, mate. You start from the back of the pack. What can you do?
Try and keep it consistent, make no mistakes, get past as many people as I can, try and get that another back-to-back race win.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, Fury, mate. Good luck.
Yes, indeed. Good luck.
Cheers.
Everybody happy with that then, Dan, Kelly, and look at who is on pole at the moment, and he's not had a slipstream to get himself in the 43s.
Yeah, well, this is the third man of the evening who's got his car into the 43s, and Peaceful absolutely flying. As I said, only one of three that's done it, and the other man is the man in second place, who seems to be done because he's in the pits.
Yeah, he is done.
Do any better than that? So Disco is all done as Peaceful has just stopped, and I hope he hasn't.
Oh no! Go off him! Jump off him! Move off him! Move off him!
As I said, Disco in the pits.
Oh no!
And he's disconnected. Oh, would you believe that? Would you believe it? I don't know what to say about that, Matt. Do you? Nothing at all by the sounds of it.
It's Peaceful explosion on double points.
Oh, and he's just been disconnected when he was on pole. Yeah, I say, what can you say? What can you say to that? That's absolutely gutting.
And the thing is, the heartbreaking thing is because this is an online lobby, because of the fact it's American tracks and they don't have grid slots, they don't have pit garages here. We don't have the normal online lobbies, which means that that will not be able to get back in because the 2-minute warning has gone by. That is heartbreaking.
So that's him out of the race.
That's him out. That's him done.
And that's the cruelness of this game. I mean, you know, we don't tend to have, we don't have engine failures as such, random engine failures. But what we do have is random disconnections for whatever reason, and that is just the cruel part, isn't it? It's Lando Norris, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You know.
My heart goes out for him because he's had the pace here to take the race by the bull of the horns, really, in this second race, leading from all the quick guys at the back and being able to get that Merc just away. My heart bleeds for him. My heart goes out for him. JR Sim Racing, can he not reconnect before the race? No. Project Cars, when you get to 2-minute warning on the online lobbies, you cannot reconnect before the race. So that is Peaceful done.
Can't get back in because
because it isn't set up as a championship. That's harsh.
Yeah, exactly what you said. So qualifying is all but done. Gary's still on track, but I don't think he's going to bother the pole. So it's Disco Face on pole as we speak. It's not quite over. And D Biggs only 3/10 behind him. That was a better showing for D Biggs. BT in third, Sooty in fourth, Little Leach in fifth. His brother Gary on a lap at the moment. I don't know how he's doing, but he's coming round to complete this, so we'll see where.
Oh, he's not. Peaceful Exposure just said, "I've not lost my Wi-Fi. Still talking to Master. He just got booted." I'm wondering whether to rerun the qualifying session here, because that sounds like a Project Cars lobby fault. I'm wondering whether to make a new lobby here.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know what. There's only one driver.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? It's not a mass disconnection. No. So we'll have to keep our eyes on it. If more people start to disconnect, then it will be a case of a reset of the lobby, won't it? But at the minute, this is the way it has to be.
Yes, indeed. So, as we said, Disco Face on pole. D Biggs lines up beside him. BT Targa in my old car there in third place for pole up. Sooty, good showing for Sooty. See if he can take that forward this time. Little Leach, best of the Renaults, in fifth. His brother next to him in the other Renault in sixth. First of the non-qualifiers would be Phil, who was in third on the first race and lines up seventh on the grid. Maz, excuse me, right next to him in eighth place. Andy with work to do all evening in ninth. X-Mart right close to him in the other Porsche, and championship rival on Orthodubs and in 11th place and race winner, and the boy on form at Fury at the back of the grid. So
Peaceful. Mike's just think his connection has gone now, so it looks like it's slowly dropped out, so it may not be a project. Because I feel so bad for Mike, because he just cannot seem to catch a break.
No, he can't, and it always seems to go wrong for him. And if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. It's the phrase, isn't it? You know. Yeah. So gutted for him, absolutely. And it's now just come up on my screen that he's disconnected.
Who's your money on?
From here?
Yeah.
Disco should be strong, but he hasn't. He showed a very quick pace in practice, but there was nowhere in the second race. I guess we're about to find out. My money's on Disco.
My money I'm going to give to Sooty Apex. I think Sooty could be a shout-out turn up for the Bucks here then. As we are rolling, we are about to get ready. The red lights come on. Fury is now alongside Dan. He was going to be the place behind Dan, but he's now alongside him due to that disconnection. Peaceful. We're green here, and D-Biggs has got the better rolling getaway than Disco with Disco Face, and Sooty is going to go round the outside of Disco. Oh, and Disco taps the rear of Sooty. Well, there's our predictions out the window. Ruined. Yeah, and Disco retires straight away. Well, I mean, that's,
Yeah, really?
Yeah. What's all that about?
Well, anyway, benefiting from that, Andy come up loads of places into fourth place as they're all tripping over each other. And Dan and Fury up to sixth and seventh as well. So it's panned out quite well for them. And they're all in very close company back there. Excuse me. And... what a shocker of a start. The two guys we predicted, we've got to stop making predictions. We really have. All we do is ruin people's races.
We really do. Big Zen leads this race from Little Leach up into second place. The Renault second place. Phil from seventh on the grid is up into third already. So Phil has had another cracking start at the minute. An absolutely flying start. Have you read that one in the chat there? Without reading it aloud. But either way, Phil up into third, and Andy trying to cover off X-Mart, and that was a late move, and Fury then gets this run on X-Mart. He's already got past on Orthodubs, has he? Yep, he's up into fifth. Dan then just behind him, X-Mart then, as Andy gets to wiggle through the bus stop, and he had a bit of a wiggle on entry there. As here comes Fury then, having a good chance to look at Andy now. Andy didn't get the best runs. Dan down in sixth place. Maz didn't get a great start. Sooty's down to 10th after his earlier. So what has happened to Phil? Because he's dropped all the way back to 11th. And here comes Fury. This is for P3. Little Leach currently running P2.
Yes, indeed, in that Renault. But he's look at that lot behind him. That's enough to scare you to death, isn't it?
Oh my God, this could end in tears. But Fury round the outside a Little Leach into turn one, up into second place at the end of this first lap. Andy then trying to stay ahead of Dan. This is then the race that could be the interesting one to keep an eye on with Andy and Dan. They're side by side, and that's Little Leach who's made a mistake and comes across track and just narrowly misses the Porsche and BMW of Andy and Dan. They're still side by side, and here comes, in fact, no, they're not, because Dan's now in front of Andy. BT Targo went straight on in the background at turn 2, and Dan trying to hunt down Exmart. Sutty's back, Master's up to 6th, Sutty's 7th, Gary's into 8th place, Phil's down in 11th. Feel sorry for whatever happened to Phil, but D-Biggs leads from Fury, and I have a feeling here, Kelly, that this could be a double win for Fury, as that's Gary and Sutty round in the background.
Yes, indeed. Going from bad to worse for poor old Gary. He's going to write this season off in a minute and go again next year. Look out when he does, because it just isn't going his way. Yeah, lots of action in the first laps, but look at this guy up into second place. This boy's form is epic.
Impeccable, isn't it?
It certainly is. Yeah.
Now, Exmart and Dan going with Fury here. Did Fury have a mistake on the infield somewhere, or has he just trimmed that downforce, like he said, with it being dry now, for the oval section of the track? We're down to 11 runners, and since we've lost Peaceful and Disco Disco Face. Dan's on the outside of Exmart. He's taking the higher line, and a flash of the lights I think he gave to Exmart to say that he's up there. And Exmart giving him plenty of room here, and Dan will want to get past, because like he said in the interview, he's keeping an eye on Fury, and all this time he's still losing some more points to that Mercedes-Benz. And Fury here, now can he start to think about gaining time on D-Biggs then, as Dan and Exmart are still side by side. Mazda's looking to make the move on Andy in the background. Mazda's got past Andy in the background as Dan gets past Exmart in towards turn 1, and Mazda putting another car between himself, between Andy and Dan, but Andy's not done fighting this one. Look in the background, Kelly. There is Andy keeping it tight with Mazda. Mazda will have the inside line in towards turn 2, and he's making this one interesting with Andy, and Andy wants as many places to stay with Dan as possible, but I have a feeling he's fighting a losing battle with that Mercedes-Benz round here in the dry.
Yeah, probably is, and the BM's just not performing very well around here at all,
No.
which is quite a surprise. I thought they'd be solid. I didn't think they would be quite as bad as they've been, but just going back a little bit on Orthodubs, Dan putting the moves on Exmart.
Oh, BT in the background. BT's had a terrible night tonight.
I think Exmart gave that one to him quite easily as they came into turn 1, but they are in the same stable, remember. They're all both Prolapse drivers, so it was I think gave it to him a little bit, but Dan's
he's got to run on Fury somewhere. That's coming off the oval. I reckon Fury may have trimmed some downforce then to make that car quicker on the oval, because he's struggled off the oval pot. Gets it into the bus stop. Can't go around it. Oh, Dan! Now, was that a wiggle? Was that a touch? I think Fury's backed. Yeah, I think Fury's backed out of that one. And Exmart then, look at the speed Exmart's carrying because of them two having a bit of a mistake through the bus stop chicane. He's got nowhere to go. I tell you what, it's like watching Days of Thunder on the banking as they come round side by side. Exmart get in front of Fury then, and Dan goes to the lower side. What's that all about?
What did he do that? Did he just give Fury the place back?
Did Dan have a wiggle then?
Well, maybe he did, but I thought he looked like he'd been hit.
Yeah, I thought
Fury.
he looked like he'd been hit, and I thought that's why Fury didn't come steaming past him. I think Fury was giving Dan the place back, and Dan's gave it them both. So did Dan have a wiggle and give Fury the place back? Oh, as Fury there nearly taps the back of Exmart and looks up the inside into turn 2, but Exmart's covered that one off. While all this is going on, these three are still, by the way, catching D-Biggs out front, even though this scrap is going on. But look who's catching on the back of them. I wouldn't fancy another Mercedes joining this fight.
No, and Maz is less than a second behind now on this battle. Dan needs to get in front of these guys and get clear. And Dan's going to be he's singing Fury's praises at the moment, but Fury's turning into a real contender.
Oh, he had a wiggle there, did Fury. He's lost a bit of momentum onto the straight, had a bit of a wiggle coming off the oval. Sorry to butt in there, Kelly. That will affect the run onto the oval, but he'll have the slipstream of Exmart's Porsche, which is right there. But Dan, look at Dan, he's got the toe of Fury's Mercedes-Benz, and as Dan then makes it side by side, is Dan going to do to Fury what Fury did to Dan at the bus stop chicane? I don't think so, because Exmart's in the way. He's got him done before the bus stop chicane. Fury looks back now, and Fury, he's not. Oh, he's gone very deep. Yeah, very deep there, and rejoins way behind Dan, and that is now a Porsche 1, 2, 3. Biggs, Exmart, unorthodox. Mazda's got past Fury. That's how much Fury's lost out. Now then, Fury, flash the lights to Maz. Work with Mazda maybe, because you're two independent Mercedes-Benz with no Liam for Fury to back him up and no teammate for Mazda to back him up. Is this a chance of these two Mercs working together to get it on the podium?
Well, that would be the sensible way to do it, but we'll see how that goes, because they're both highly competitive, and Fury's dropped back. He's pitted. He's decided to pit, Matt.
Good decision
On
then.
lap 4.
Yeah, good decision. Fury and Andy coming in, getting the pit stop out the way straight away. Great decision from them two. And that one could be the way to go here.
Yes, indeed. And D Big's under pressure now. He's had it all his own way for 5 laps, but now everyone's caught him up.
Yeah, everybody has caught him up. Phil as well as in the pits, as is Gary. So yeah, a lot of drivers pitting there.
Who's that going deep? Yeah, it might have been X-Mart, just got a little bit on the grass. That's why Dan got a run around the outside there.
So now then, Mazda up to 4th, Little Leach up to 5th, Sutty up to 6th. Mazda's kind of got a free pit stop. X-Mark deep going onto the oval. That's going to lose him a lot of time going onto the oval then, and that could allow Mazda, the Mercedes behind Dan, to have a run. X-Mark giving a flash to Dan there. Not fighting that one too hard as he ran deep, and this now is becoming nearly 4th for the lead. And Mazda will be sat half a second behind X-Mark, thinking, after the bus stop chicane, if I nail it, I'll be on the back of him. And this is round 2 between X-Mark and Mazda here. We saw this race 1.
Oh, look at the closing speed.
Wow!
And
Mazda's, you feel that he had to kind of make that mistake without, so he didn't run into the back of X-Mark there.
Absolutely, yeah, totally. I was going to say something for that, and that just put me right off. But Maz reeled him in really quick. I think he might have even caught Maz out a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Dan's pitting.
Quite so quick.
Dan's pitting.
Down in the pits, you're quite right.
He's pulled to that left-hand side. Does he get it slowed down in time? Of course. In fact, it's not come up pit. Of course he does. He gets in. His pit crew wasn't ready for him, though. So a late call from the Shake and Bake team, and you don't see this too often from this team. They're normally in and out as quick as you can count. And that is a late call for an Orthodubs and a long stop for an Orthodubs. Now, where's Fury? I think Fury's got him.
Maybe.
I think Fury's got him here.
Could be right.
Fury, look at that.
There's work to do. His pit crew weren't ready. That's what happens if you don't. I don't know if Dan pressed his pit confirm to get them ready, or he just kind of went in and hoped that they would be ready.
Late call it looked, didn't it? Because he sort of was behind Biggs and then just pulled out as he was on board with Mazda, shot into the pit lane then. But late call for Dan, and that has cost him a lot of time to Fury, you'd have to say.
Absolutely, but swings and roundabouts, Matt. Swings and roundabouts for the amount of times that him and Biggs get these pit stops absolutely beautifully right. There's got to be the odd time that they go wrong.
100%. X-Mart in the slipstream of D Biggs out front. Mazda's just dropped back a little bit more. He's now a 1.1 behind X-Mart. And look at X-Mart in the Team Pro Laps Porsche challenging the lead of Shake and Bake, the defending Constructors Champion driver of D Biggs. Into the bus stop chicane they come. Mazda will be will be putting a smile on his face as he's gaining time over these two. The gap to X-Mart and him is now 9 tenths. We gained 2 tenths on the first part of the straight. Good run out there, and here he comes again. It's Mazda's got to have that run on these two here. Does he think of an early stop? When do these guys pit? Surely these guys will get. Will Mazda get a jump over Dan? You'd think in the pits with Dan having such a long stop. Biggs is in. Now, let's keep it. Let's go to Biggs. See, can Biggs? Are the crew ready for Biggs? No,
not really. No,
not fully ready for Biggs either. Better than Dan because they was off. Better stop than Dan's. But Dan, well, has he just kissed goodbye to a race winner? Is it? Has he kissed goodbye to a chance of a podium here?
Maybe, but hey, it's not over. It's not over by a long shot. We're not even half distance yet.
Oh, God, no.
How these things change around. If there's one thing I've learned is not to presume anything.
Yeah, no, 100%. 4.8 behind Fury is on Orthodubs. He's got some time to make up. Mazda 9 tenths to the back of X-Mart for this race lead at the minute. Now, Fury, what's his gap to D Biggs? We'll wait for that timing screen to change while we just stay with this battle. It's pretty close. In fact, it's that close. It's side by side. Now, is Fury going to look around the outside here? He's done it to one Shake and Bake Porsche. He's not going to do it to another. As Andy's off in the background, he does. And
they're both on the grass.
Did Biggs squeeze him on the outside there?
Maybe. They're both all on the grass. In fact, I was going to say, and that brings Dan back into play, doesn't it?
Brings Dan back into play massively. Biggs with a flash of the light. Did Biggs squeeze Fury there? Fury stays ahead of Dan. you stay to that inside line. Dan managed to keep Fury enough space on the outside. Biggs didn't seem to. I reckon that was a bit of a squeeze there from Biggs. But either way, you know that plays in the hands of, don't you? The two out front who got separated by a tenth of a second are the two leaders. As Dan goes underneath Fury, and Exmart then deciding not to battle with Master as he dives into the pits at the end of lap 7, and Fury in a wall!
Dan had done Fury before that happened. He got him somewhere in the slip when we swapped over to see what was happening out front.
And Biggs! And Dan
nearly
narrowly escaping that. Wow, that's huge damage. That is huge damage.
What was that about? What was that about? I'm going to have another look at the stream. Looked to me like Biggs didn't even stop.
Yeah.
And
I don't know about you, Kelly, but that was naughty.
Well, again, we don't have all the angles, Matt. It's hard to say, but certainly looked like Biggs
just looking at it now.
Deep.
Look, Fury's lost it now.
Fury's off again. He's
looking at it now. Biggs is a long way back and closes rapidly.
But just before that, Matt, Fury had just hit the wall and had probably lost a lot of momentum in his speed.
I still feel, you look at the speed Biggs comes into the corner, he's taking a lot of speed into that corner, Kelly.
Yeah, I don't want to comment.
No. We'll leave that one to the stewards and Fury in for a long stop, and that has ruined Fury's night. But this has put Dan back on the podium. Exmart did jump Dan. Will Mazda jump Dan? This man, clear air, what can he do in that Mercedes-Benz? This man could get on for a race win here with that clear air now. With the Mercedes as the pace and Mazda's in that clear air to really... He's under no pressure here. He's under no pressure. Fury's away from the pits and he's nearly a lap down. That's disappointing.
Absolutely. Very disappointing. And
boxing.
We'll see,
he's boxing.
As I said, we'll see what happens with that one with the stewards and so on and so forth. We'll see how that one plays out. But yes, Maz, as we said, 24 hours he's done around this track. Literally 24 hours around this track. So he knows his way around. He's in one of the quickest cars on the grid. There's no reason why he can't win this one, is there?
You wouldn't think so, no. I wouldn't say there's any reason why Mazda couldn't win this one. But needs a decent stop, needs to get away. And he is away now. Sorry, just making a few notes here.
Yep.
As Mazda's away then.
Where is Dan? He's still got Exmart breathing down. So was Dan done Exmart? Because Exmart was jumped Dan, didn't he?
No, Dan's done Exmart then somewhere on this track. And has Mazda done all of them? This is tight. D Biggs is back into the pits. Yeah, it is close enough. But don't forget, Mazda was behind all of these guys before they pitted. So Mazda has jumped everybody in the pit stop. This is a battle I've been longing to see since Mazda's gone in the Mercedes. Dan v Mazda. One for the books. One I'm interested to see. Gary's up to 6th. Phil's back up to 5th. BT Toga, after his poor start to this race, is up in 5th place, but he's under pressure from Phil. And look at Phil. I tell you what, I've already got my driver of the day.
Have you?
It's this man. I think he's been phenomenal tonight.
Yeah, he's certainly the kind of pace that we've been expecting from him for some time. And I've said this before. I don't think I've seen Phil at his best.
I tell you where I saw Phil at his best. Sorry, Kelly. Two fourth places in that Acura last season.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that because it's the Acura. I'm saying that because of how hard he's probably had to drive that car to get it fourth.
Absolutely. Probably had to wring its neck to do it, or he would have had to wring his neck to do it. When I came into SimPlay and whatever, Phil was already in the Acura, but came with quite a high reputation, as it were. But I don't think I've seen the best of him yet. Although the last race was, was very promising. So it's as we see, Andy's now breathing down the neck of Gary.
Yeah, I reckon that one will be done relatively soon, to be fair with you, Kelly, there. I reckon Phil's going to get BT at some stage as well. And the top three then, Mazda starting to gap Dan a little bit. 2.1, that gap's gone up to this over the last part of this oval part. Was under 2 seconds. Mazda stretched it to 2 seconds before the braking zone. This is a battle I'm looking forward to see. And this one is a battle that's not even going to develop because it's there. Gary sees him. Gary waves goodbye and have a nice rest of the race.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, I kind of stand on... I've been kind of keeping an eye on Gary's pace, and as I said, he's not an awful lot quicker.
Oh, he'll get the place back there because Andy's gone very deep at turn one.
Yeah, going rallying over on the grass. I'm quite happy that I did get the absolute best out of that Renault last
Phil's
night.
got BT target, Kelly, just to say as well.
Yep, he certainly has. And yeah, I can say that safely say that I reckon I got the very best out of that Renault last night, because I don't think Gary's gone any much quicker than I did last night.
I think his qualifying pace was a bit quicker than yours and Nicky's, but I think his race pace has looked a lot similar to what you and Nicky was running last night, and I think that's testament to yourself and Nicky, Kelly. Well done.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Gary's... but again, Matt, it's a car like the Renault that handles as well as it does. I think it's quite reasonably easy to take it to that maximum on this type of track. Yeah. You really
push the limits and see what the Renault's got to give. 26 people watching the stream, 17 likes. Guys, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Mazda then has a 1.3 second lead, and we've had Sutty retire from the race. So Sutty then...
Oh, what was that about?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that one's about. Sutty will not score a single point for that one. What a shame, because he was ahead of Biggs and Fury and was on for a ninth place there. But Sutty will not score a point, and that is his first retirement of the season. Don't forget, 5 retirements in the season means you will not complete 80% of it, and therefore will get a 25-point deduction. And in the pro group, Disco has now had 2 tonight. I believe Mazda's also had 2, and Sutty has now had 1. But here is Andy trying to chase down Gary once again. We're down to 10 runners then here, and the 2 leaders 1.2 seconds. I reckon Dan a lot quicker than Mazda on that last lap. Is Mazda? I think Mazda's got his car set up for the oval. I think Mazda's reverse of Fury here. I think Mazda's got an oval car, and not an infield one. As Dan giving Mazda a flash of the lights into the brake zone. Nicely done.
Yeah, let's see here now, shall we? If that's the case, and you're right, this Merc should start pulling away a little bit. The gap was 1.4-ish when we came into this lap. Dan's caught it up in the midfield. Is that Merc starting to pull away a little bit? Does look a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like it's slowly. Just slow. In fact, I don't know. The time's coming. The time's actually coming down a few thousandths, more than up. So I don't know. I reckon Dan... It's this part of the track, I think, that Merc will get the bonus. Yeah, absolutely stacked it, Matt. Would have been in the pits for days, says Sutty. That's why Sutty may have retired from the race then. What a shame. What a shame then, Sutty. You could have only needed to get to lap 14 to get to score points and not have that retirement against your name. But, oh well, nevertheless. Look, this is where Master pulls away a bit, this back half of the oval section. Yeah. Ebbing and flowing that time, actually. It's up and down, like a blimmin' yo-yo. Ebbing and flowing for the first time tonight.
We haven't heard ebbing and flowing for such a long time, honestly. I think I
need to get that one. Oh, hello. Someone say Christmas. Fury's mum, you there? Yeah.
Not yet.
It's
only October. It's practically summer.
What it is beginning to look like, though, it's not beginning to look like Christmas. It's beginning to look like a potential Merc 2 race wins here tonight. Mercedes winning the last 3 races at SimPlay Motorsport, then at Red Bull Ring, and the 2 at Daytona. But it's not done yet. Lap 12 of 17 on board Dan then. Just looking down the field, this is pretty much the closest battle. I say there's a battle developing in the background. It's not really a battle. It's Andy gaining on a Renault.
Yeah, and I mean, Andy's done this one once and went wide, so... that'll do it. Andy having an absolute shocker, isn't he?
The BMW, you was interested to see how it went tonight. I didn't think it was going to do. I didn't think it was going to do a lot, and it's done exactly what I thought it was going to do.
Not a lot.
Yeah. Pretty much. Dan then, gaining on Mazda, was pretty much a second quicker than Mazda on that last lap. So Dan is coming here, but Mazda is a very, very good defender. And we know that to be a very good defender, it's easy to keep that race lead round here. You've got to speak to the man in the commentary booth with me, because he did it the whole race too against Sargent last year. And what is it this time? It's Merc and Porsche again.
and pretty much most of the second race last night as well.
Fury's mum's there. Christmas tree emoji in the chat. She's loving life.
Stop it.
Yes.
Stop it, you lot. It's October.
Dan has a run on Mazda then. Mazda's not kept to the inside like Kelly would have done. Dan's gone to the inside line now. Down towards turn 1. We know, though, that Mazda can overtake around the outside. And will he go for it again? He did it on X-Martin race 1. Can he do it on Dan? They got a little touch, and Mazda making life difficult. Now Mazda will have the toe. A bit of a wiggle on the exit of the corner there. But Dan back in the lead with a very opportunistic move.
Oh, yes, indeed. Mazda comes right up on the back of him. Gets very close. You can almost smell the engine in the back of that car. We're so close then.
Do you think Dan checked his list twice there?
No, I don't think he wrote a list at all because it's October.
There's Mazda then gaining on Dan on the brakes a little bit there. Dan said it to me last night, he takes that wider line at that corner.
Yeah,
and that's paying off.
For that one as well. Pick up the apex late on it. Dan seems to have some wider lines than.
Oh, Mazda. Bit of a twitch, yeah.
Bit of a twitch there. Yeah, it's you can just tell straight away.
I think Mazda could have Dan. I think Mazda. I don't know actually.
No,
just keep an eye on it. He's gaining. He's
got the slip now, so.
It's what I'm saying. I wonder if this is going to be the fight, the slipstream battle.
Yeah, it's not, and it seems to be, as quite rightly said, you need a good run through this chicane. This is where the slipstream really
works. You sort of get close enough to them at the bus stop, set them up through the bus stop, great exit, and then this is your chance, because this bit's a bit longer, isn't it, than the first part?
Yeah.
And I think this race is going to be down to who gets the slipstream on the final lap coming out the bus stop as they head down here. Look at Mazda reeling Dan in. Dan stays to the inside. I don't think it's enough for that Porsche, because I think the Merc's got enough around the outside, especially Mazda. We've seen him overtake around the outside, and there goes Mazda once again. Job done. Dan stays tight, and Mazda brings it. Oh, I tell you what, Mazda, bit of a wiggle. I didn't think it was going to. I thought Mazda had that one done, but he had a wiggle mid-corner, didn't he, there? And that's what ruined that one.
Well, again, as you remember, last year, me and the Porsche, Argent in the Merc, we did this lap after lap, Argent going on the outside, me defending the inside. As I have said, it's easier to defend the inside. Obviously, it's easier to defend the inside on anything. But in this track, the inside line is a very, very good defence. You kind of roll with it, and that's exactly what we've seen just then. This one may roll on for the next couple of laps. It may
do too. As Mazda back onto the oval. Speaking of Christmas, Kelly, you're a DJ.
We're not speaking of Christmas.
What's your poison on the decks when you're DJing at Christmas time? What's your go-to song for Christmas?
What do I play? Well, yeah, I tend to. I don't play a lot of Christmas songs through the main part of the evening. I play them at the beginning and a few at the end, but it's normally Mariah Carey, The Pogues, and Slade.
Oh, The Pogues, brilliant Christmas song.
Yeah, it is a good Christmas song.
Brilliant Christmas song. So it is October, and Mazda's just messed up the bus stop chicane. Fury's mum, what's your favourite Christmas song? Get that one in the chat. It's an interesting one. Buble for me.
Oh, no, but, we're not talking about Christmas.
We're not talking about Christmas.
Let's talk about Halloween instead, shall we?
Don't like Halloween.
Let's talk about, because Halloween comes first, and then
silly holiday is Halloween.
Well,
silly holiday.
Get anywhere near Christmas.
Silly holiday is Halloween. That's what that is. Mazda gets a bit of a toe. He's not closer to Dan because he messed up the bus stop chicane, and as they go on to lap 15 here, Mazda staying close. Now, is Mazda tactically staying ahead here? BT Targa and Phil, by the way, in the background, they're having a cracking fight. Dan went deep. Mazda's going to have the opportunity, but stays behind. BT and Phil having a good battle back there as well, Kelly. Let's just chat out a second. Look at these two boys.
Yes, indeed. Exactly the same going on here. Is Phil going to defend the inside? BT trying to go around the outside. I wish these Prolapse boys would stick to one number on these cars and not keep swapping numbers, because I'm sure X-Mart was in 119 last week. BT's in it this week. That's my old car, and I can just who's got it this week.
Yeah, normally I can choose which one to have it. Obviously, we'd be in the American circuits. We're not doing. Oh, yeah, Mazda has got him. No, you're fine.
Mazda's got him.
He has got him, and he's given Dan enough room to get through, because Dan did have a nose up the inside to Mazda. Then I think that's a bad mistake from Dan.
I don't know what happened there. Maz got in front. I wonder if it was all a bit a little bit questionable, and Mazda seemed to let him back through again.
Yeah, I think Dan would have been better off giving Mazda that corner and getting in the toe, because look at Mazda, look at the run the Mercedes has got, and down the straight he comes now. Is this going to be side by side? Is Dan having nightmares? He must be, because Mazda gets it round the outside. Not as great as Fury's, but good enough. And look at the run through the bus stop Dan got. He's gave that opportunity. Did he give Dan Mazda the opportunity to get through so that he could have the slipstream on the second part of the track? But here comes the Porsche of Dan. And is that Merc just pulling away a little bit there? It is, you know.
Yeah, he is. Now, Dan wants to get this. Mazda's hugging that inside line. He's not daft, is he? He knows exactly where that car needs to be. But it's just about here now. Maz keeps it right on the inside line. Dan's got to go round the outside. That's the hardest way
and
round,
that's gone deep. That's deep from Dan.
He's going to tuck it back in, look. He's going to pull it back in.
The hard thing is, though, Kelly, is that this little chicane bit here, which is kind of not really there. You don't want to, you know what I mean? It's one of them that you want to be up the inside, but at the same time that wall comes at you and you kind of don't want to be on the inside and go across that curb and clip the wall. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, and that second curve of that chicane, that like flat out chicane, if you hit that wrongly, it will unsettle the car.
Sure. Now, what has happened to BT Targa, because he's dropped way behind? He did, and Dan's lost that one on. Dan's lost that on his own. His mistake there of braking late, tapping the back of Mazda. BT Targa's dropped off the back of Phil, so Phil looks like he's settled for fourth. And is that the race gone? Is Mazda going to win that race? Because mistake from Dan.
Yeah, look at we've got a lap and a half. We've got a lap and a half left. Dan's now got to make back 3 seconds when they were quite so evenly matched. I think Dan's going to have to settle in for another second place. But hey, two second places for a championship point of view. That's a damn good
great consistency. 40 points plus a pole position in race one, maybe even a fastest lap in this race. Great consistency. With Fury scoring bad, with Andy scoring bad, Disco scoring bad, that really does help him out. But it is Merc dominance, as Gary's up to 5th ahead of BT Targa. So BT Targa's having a real bad time of it. That Renault having a cracking go at the moment. We enter
Gary.
We enter the last lap of this race. Do we? No, not yet. They're coming round now. They're coming round now. We enter the last lap of this race. Dan's got 3.2 seconds.
He's going to settle in, I think.
Got to, Annie.
3.2 in a lap. Yeah, ain't going to happen, is it?
That's going to be some effort. Oh, there's Fury. That's Fury. Yeah.
Yep. Stay there, Fury.
Pushing too hard, maybe, to try and recover what he lost. BT Targa on the back of this Renault. I don't feel for long, as here comes Gary trying to defend. Look, keep it to the inside, Gary. You might be able to defend him at two. No.
No, you can't.
No. So that's where someone else last night would have pushed him into the wall. Look.
Yeah. At least I don't have to run around naked.
Yeah, exactly. And now I want to speak to you, Kelly, about something. Dan has been on 21 race wins and been behind Jamie Brazier's 22 for a while now. And since that point, he's got one behind him. He's just not been able to get past it. Is Dan going through a bit of a... I mean, his consistency is still there and it's still great. But he's not getting them wins, is he, that he was getting earlier in the season?
It's a bit like Lewis Hamilton, wasn't it? Lewis Hamilton had a bit of a stumble at 99 and couldn't quite get his 100, but he got it. And Dan will get his next one. If you think Dan's run is over, then
Dan's run is not over. Dan will be back. Dan will be back with race wins. Absolutely. That is for sure, especially this season.
You wait. There's some tracks that Dan really likes.
We're coming up to some beauties that Dan spoke about and made public to everybody on the chat. That I like these circuits, and next week is a particular one of like 3 or 4 favourites that Dan's got coming up, and the back half of the season does seem to suit Dan. But it's not about Dan in this one. He's the one that made the mistake, and I tell you what, for a man that qualified 13th in race 1, he's going to come home. He's had a good night. You may say it may be a first and a fourth, maybe a chance for driver of the day, but I'm not going to give it to him. He does, though, take the first place and get that race win, and that's job done for Mazda. Dan's going to come home for a pair of second places. Not a bad job if you're down at the end of this one. X-Mark, great podium for him at the end of this. 3rd place for the Team Prolapse Porsche, and that is the way to do it if you're X-Mark in this race. Here's my drive. driver of the day. I'm going to give it to Phil, a third and a fourth. I think Phil, we don't see the best of Phil enough, and he's come across to take this one. Great results for him tonight. BT Targa did get past Gary and has managed to hold on to Gary at the minute, but his race is not done just yet. He's still got a bit of time to go, but I mean, the gap doesn't favour Gary. 5th place for BT. Gary will take a 6th place, no doubt. 6th and 11th, I'm sure Gary will take that. Andy struggling in 7th place as he spins across the line. That'll be a penalty for sure, because you're not allowed to do that. Little Each will come home in P8. D Biggs, well, potentially facing an investigation for that incident with Fury at the bus stop down in 9th, and Fury himself a lap down in P10. We await for the fastest lap, Kelly, but we feel at the moment that he's done enough, Dan has, to take the championship lead from Andy.
Absolutely. And my driver of the day, where did Maz end up in race 1?
Mazda's come away with a 1st and a 4th tonight.
1st and a 4th. You know what? I'm going to give my driver of the day to Mazda tonight.
That's fair play.
I think that was a really good drive, especially that second race. Although I think honourable mention for Dan in 2nd place. That was a championship drive.
Yeah, championship drive.
Place he's the best scorer of the night.
Yeah.
And from a championship point of view, in that car around this circuit, I mean, let's look at it. Is it all Merc wins for this round?
For Daytona, yeah. For the whole of Daytona, and Merc has won every single race, yeah.
Yeah, so for Dan to be 2 second places in Porsche, I think an honourable mention. But my driver of the day is going to be Mazda tonight, for sure.
Yeah, I think we have to give a good shout out to Fury for his race 1. I think we have to give a good shout out as well to Phil, who's going to get my driver of the day. Get your votes in for your driver of the day. Dan, so far, fastest lap. I'm just looking down the order. Yep, Dan will keep the fastest lap and scores the extra point. So while we wait for the drivers to come back in for their little interview, let us just take you to the championship standings. I'll just sort these out now. And great night of racing, though. A few things under investigation that the stewards will want to look at, but the drivers' championship, Dan and Andy are tied going into Oschersleben, and that one is an interesting one to see as they come along. Fury sits P3 still ahead of Disco. Gary is staying in 5th, just ahead of Exmart, who's jumped his teammate BT Targa. D-Biggs down in 8th with Peaceful 9th. What a night it could have been for him. Sutty is 10th with Little Each 11th. Phil's up to 12th, Monkey Boy 13th. Mazda's 14th, ahead of Jamie Brazier, and Liam down in 16th place. Slingshot Motorsport 25 points now ahead of Shake and Bake, with Team Prolapse sitting in 3rd. The Leachy Losers 4th, Wakasaki Racing 5th, Run Flat Racing 6th, GQ Motorsport dropping behind them in 7th, SimPlay Racing in 8th, and Iron Brew Racing in 9th place. And we have got X-Mart in the commentary box. X-Mart, good night for yourself, really, but to cap it off with a podium, to say you were struggling earlier on before we came on air, that's a good way to end the night.
I am over the moon, Matt and Kelly. I seriously am too. Get on the podium with this level of quality driving from the Pro League. Mate, it's a dream come true to come on the podium for Pro. I'm absolutely really chuffed, mate. Now, that's your first podium since being promoted into Pro. Does that make it feel even better? It certainly does, and let's hope there's more to come. I'm really, really chuffed. I'm just over the moon. I'm going to go shout to the missus when I go in there. I got podium!
Now, Mark, you know that's my old car, and my old car put a race win last year, so you know it's the car that's just done it. Don't bring it down. Don't bring me down, Kelly. Come on. I'm not taking anything away. It was a cracking drive, mate. But I set the car up for you, so my pleasure. You did. It felt good. It felt good. It just felt quite solid actually on this race. And a fifth in the first race, I'm quite chuffed with that as well. So yeah, not bad all round, Matt. No, great results from yourself, buddy. We look forward to seeing you at Oschersleben next week. Yeah, me too. Take care, buddy. Cheers, buddy. Do we have Dan in the chat? Has Dan come in? I don't know.
No, I don't think Dan has.
I don't think he has.
There he is. Speak of the devil, just as we cut to him, he joins the party now. Dan, you just didn't have them legs on them Mercedes tonight, did you, buddy?
No, I did not, but I gave him everything. I gave the fight to Maz. I gave the fight to Fury. Silly mistake at the end of that race, which compromised me, and that was it. Maz was gone. So, no, congratulations to Mazda, and a massive congratulations to X-Mart, mate. Well done for getting on the podium. Cheers, Dan. Solid performance, mate. You were sticking with me, and yeah, I tried everything to throw everything at Mercedes, just didn't have enough. You made that little mistake, like you said, just tapped the back of Mazda, and that really unsettled your Porsche and lost it round. But great battle again, Dan. You seem to be involved in the thick of these battles with these Mercs tonight. I'm loving it. Like the race with Fury, the race with Maz, race with even with Exmar as well. We had a bit of door rubbing, but it was fair. No, it was good. Good clean racing. It was hard, but it was nice. And like I said, everyone gave their respect and space, and thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought I was going to dread this race, but actually, I quite happily walk away with 2 seconds.
Now,
yeah.
Sorry, Kelly, I just want to ask Dan something.
Yeah.
You're a man who knows Peaceful quite well. How much does your heart go out for him?
Honestly, when I saw him take pole and then he got disconnected, I was gutted for him because he had been working so hard for this round, so hard, and he could have won tonight. He had the pace, he had the consistency, and just the game is just not fair to him.
Yeah.
I'm massively gutted for him.
Go on, Kelly.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dan, you've got to be happy with tonight's overall, haven't you? I know you've had some great battles tonight and probably thoroughly enjoyed the battling, but I called your night as a championship drive. For your championship tonight, that's the best you could do tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely so. Fury obviously had a bad race too. Andy just had a bad round. Disco obviously having a bad round as well. So I just knew I just had to score points, and big points at that. A pole, extra lap for that, and then a fastest lap, I believe, in this one as well.
Yep.
So just little points here and there. They're all going to count up towards the end, and still haven't used my double points yet. So where I can gain in places that I know I'm weak, I know that I'm going to be better when I come to circuits where I'm stronger.
Absolutely. I bet you're looking forward to next week, aren't you?
I can't tell you how much I am looking forward to the next round.
Me too, to be fair.
Thoroughly enjoy the next round.
Well done, buddy. Congrats on tonight.
Thank you very much.
And that brings us to Mazda as well. Mazda, first race win of the season, another race win. Nice to see you back on the top step. SimPlay name at the top step of the podium. That's nice to see, isn't it? But what a fight we've done in that second race.
Mate, it's great to see SimPlay back on the podium, of course, but that fight was unbelievable. I was sweating when I jumped him in the pits. I was like, hey, what's going off here? And then it was just beautiful.
Well, you jumped everybody, didn't you? You got past Biggs, you got past Fury, you had a cracking fight with X-Mart Race 1, that resumed in Race 2, and you also had that fight with Dan and jumped them all in the pits. But Dan made it hard for you at the end of that one, didn't he? And his own error kind of gave you that breathing space to win that race.
Well, yeah, like I said, I jumped everybody out beautiful, it was cracking. And then that corner, it was the one corner I was struggling on the most, and I thought I've got to brake a little bit earlier. And then when I saw a Dan spinning back round, I thought, oh my god, that is the weight off my shoulders. It was unbelievable.
Well done, buddy. Sorry, go on, Kelly.
Yeah, again, I just think, like Phil, is this the first time? I mean, I've spoke to Mazda many times before, unlike Phil. I don't think I've never chatted to Phil. Is this the first time we've spoke on the podium?
No, Mazda got third at Brands Hatch Race 2.
Got third at Brands Race.
Yeah.
First time we spoke for you having a race win, isn't it?
Yes, it's been a while.
Absolutely. Well, I'd like to see some more of it. So,
I'll try.
yeah, good man. That'd be great if you could. But well done. Good race tonight. And I gave you my driver of the day tonight. I think it was a strong round for you.
Yeah, well, cheers. Cheers for the cracking race, and cheers for the great commentary, like always.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Cheers, buddy. Look forward to seeing you hopefully next week. Kelly, final thoughts from yourself tonight?
Daytona. I think I nearly say this every week, but Daytona didn't disappoint, did it? Some great racing. I love this track, and we should come back here every single season. But for me, this is where the sharp end of the season now. We're past halfway. There's some great tracks coming up, some absolute beauties. And guys, tune in every week. Wednesday nights, Thursday nights. GT3 is the jewel in the crown for SimPlay, and it's just going to get better and better. Pro-Am and Pro. There's so much more good racing to come. And, bring it on. And
the Clios.
Yep. And the what, sorry?
And the finale of the Clios.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been following that, to be fair, but it is the finale on Monday, isn't it?
It is. You've not been following it. How come you've not been following it? You've been out of fuel.
Because I actually, the rest of the week, I haven't actually got other things to do, unfortunately. And not every day's Christmas Day for me,
Cheers,
mate.
I love the fact that blew straight over his head, but thanks, Matt.
Yeah, cheers, buddy.
I was still talking. It was what? Sorry, what? I missed that.
I said, how come you've not been keeping up with it? You've been running out of fuel.
Yes, yeah, very good. Yeah, very good.
That is all we have.
Monday night.
Yeah.
Check it out, even if I'm not there.
Yeah, even if Kelly isn't there, me and Jamie Brazier will be back live on Monday night for the finale of the Clios at Brands Hatch GP. Falgues versus Dan for the title, and a few other battles may happen along that way. But we have got a fantastic week next week. We fly from Daytona to Germany for the Oschersleben A course. What a difficult track. We fly from Daytona, to Oschersleben, from the USA to Germany.
With Donny in between.
Donny this weekend, sweet and sticky in your tent at the weekend. What a weekend that's going to be at Donington Park. If you are there, cannot wait to see you all there. It's going to be a fantastic weekend. Looking at the drivers' votes in the chat, Phil gets the overall driver of the day. Congratulations all around from a lot of the fans, Andy and a few other guys as well, to Mazda and to Xmart for that race. But Phil looks like he took the overall majority votes for driver of the day. So congrats to Phil. That's all we've got time for. We'll be back live Monday night at 8 p.m. Me and Jamie Brazier will be taking you through the finale of the Clios. Me and Dan will be back in the box on Wednesday night for the GT3s at Oschersleben, and Sweet and Sticky will be back in your box once again on a Thursday night as this championship is hotting up. Do not go anywhere. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Catch you next time. Goodbye.
Good night.
Dan, you seem to be in the thick of them Mercedes battles tonight.
I fucking hate the Mercedes. I think I've learned more about that rear. I've learned more about the rear of that car than any fucking.
That was awesome. I swear, the first 2 laps on that second race stand. Jesus Christ, that was so close.
Dan, is your stream? Dan, is your stream done?
That's all right.
I'm still live. I'm just going to finish off.
Okay.
But thanks to everyone who was watching. Thanks to all that. We go to my favourite circuit now, Oschersleben. Well, actually, I take it back. Second favourite.
Bathurst is favourite.
Bathurst is still yet to come. But I'm looking forward to the next round, and I'll see you all next week on Monday, when me and Falgues will go head-to-head. And massive thank you once again to Matthew Duffin, Kelly Davis as well for commentating on the SimPlay channel, and also have a look at their channel as well. And shortly I will be posting a setup of my Porsche here at Daytona as well, and you get to see that. But for me, that's it, and I will catch you all on Monday.
Love you!
Is battle fucking crap?
And we're out.
Is your stream done?
Yeah.
D Biggs it Fury on purpose, didn't he?
No.
I don't think it's his style. I really don't.
No,
We're already talking about it in the chat.
No, D Biggs went straight in review, and he was confused of what happened. He was telling me the whole time. He was like, I don't know what happened there.
Right, I'll be back in 2. I'm just going to load Bryn's car up with tomorrow's stuff. I'll be back in 2.
I didn't think it was Biggs' style.
He missed his braking.
That's what I thought.
Well, he didn't actually. He hit his braking and he made the corner. Fury braked massively earlier than normal through there. So I think it's a 50-50 really. They both caught each other out. But that's just my opinion.
Well, it's already under review.
Yeah, I know. But it was nothing malicious. Biggs even straight away saved it and went straight over and was like, hang on a minute, what actually happened?
Yeah.
And he said, if it's a penalty coming his way, there's a penalty coming his way. If it's not, then there's not. But, you know,
he's not that kind of bloke, is he? Let's be honest.
As I said, it's already under investigation in the chat and in the investigation chat. But as I said, I've already kind of said we're going to wait for more footage. Obviously, I said, but it ain't his style. He doesn't race like that.
No,
you know?
no.
So,
just personality as well as a person. When you hear him speak, you just know somebody, really. To be honest.
Yeah, absolutely right. You know, and he's obviously a really nice guy. And
he's a really nice guy.
I talk to you, Mark, and I think, what an idiot.
You're not wrong, bud.
Sorry, mate. I couldn't.
You're not wrong,
It was
bud.
an open goal, and I had to take it.
You got to take it, bud. Absolutely. Nah, but honestly, it would have just been a genuine mistake. I'm sure it would have been. Anyway, what we're doing? Are we going on Oschersleben? We're going on Oschersleben for a little bit, or are you buggering off?
I'm not, because I've got a long drive in the morning.
Oh yeah, because you're going up to blah blah, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, Donny.
Well, good luck with that. Enjoy. I'll look forward to seeing the pics and stuff.
Yeah, but I think we need to find some drivers, don't us, Dan, and get some selfies.
Yeah, we'll try.
What's the weather like for the camping?
It's supposed to be good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's supposed to be good. It's supposed to be like, dry and still. So
That's what you want.
Yeah,
That's what you want. That should be nice.
Yeah.
Not too cold as well. So,
absolutely.
brilliant. Well, anyway, I'm going to bugger off if no one's going to go on the blah
I'm
blah.
sure people will.
I'm sure there'll be a setup made. I don't know.
I'm sure they will. Yeah.
What would you do for downforce on that, Dan? Just as a quickie for me on that. What would you say? Yeah, what would you say for them back?
I think I was running 1 and 11.
Oh, okay, so fairly high then. Okay, fair enough.
You know when we did Formula Renault and I did 2020?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much the same, just a little bit less on the front. I will warn you, traction is going to be the issue. Turn 2, the kind of long corner, do you remember it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just take your time through there, just take it easy.
Yeah.
Even though the Formula Renaults were planted, the LMPs were planted and there's no issues, these are very, very twitchy. Very twitchy.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go 1 and 11, I'll remember that.
I've done, my fastest is a 1:27.8 already.
1:27.8, right, I'm gonna just fire up the thing and give it a go. Right, well fellas, so chuffed with that. 3rd place, seriously.
Was that my setup?
Thank you. It was, but I tweaked quite a lot to it, mate. I changed the... Well, not a lot. I changed the downforce 5 on the rear. So I only upped it by 1, but what I did change is the suspension that suits my driving. So,
yeah, no worries, mate. Do whatever.
Yeah. No, but thanks. Yeah.
I mean, if I get a decent one, I'll just stay, Ben. I'll send you.
Chuck it over, yeah.
So I'll probably. It might be very, very twitchy. I will warn you, but.
Yeah, I might just use the. I don't know which one was the one before.
The Vibe was the one I was testing with.
Yeah, well, maybe I should. What do you think, the Donington one? Because I did really well in the Donny one, actually. Donny one would be not a million miles off that, I suppose.
I tried it and it was a bit twitchy.
Okay.
But try it. Just try it.
I might even try this one and just up the downforce because I felt really solid in this one.
Yep.
Yeah. So, okay, fellas, have an awesome weekend going up there. Enjoy yourself. Get plenty of drink down here and enjoy the racing. Look forward to seeing some pictures.
Absolutely. Right on, mate.
Take care, fellas.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take care, mate.
Bye.
Bye. Oh. Maz, you've worn me out.
Mate, that were a race and a half.
I'm so annoyed.
Isn't it funny that a track that's reasonably simple brings out such good racing?
I predicted exactly what I thought was going to happen. Even though the Mercedes were practicing tow, even though they were practicing all that, it was completely pointless because they weren't towing each other.
Yeah.
They were towing everyone else. Fury and Mazda was towing me. So I just had to stick with them in the banking and then try and have them in the Sector 1. But
naughty move from Andy. Seemed like a bit of tactics going on in first qualifying.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck was going on there. But he was trying to... Either way, I don't care because both of them actually gave me the 43.7. I was like, what? They gave me the perfect tow, and I swear to God, it was not out of track limits. I may have got a little bit twitchy at the end of the bus stop, but I shoved it so far right so it would stay in track limits.
Yeah.
But they gave me the perfect tow and then caught Biggs' tow towards the end, and I was just like, this is fucking beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then it rained, and I was like, oh!
Even better.
Even better.
Yeah, good night for you.
Yeah, not bad considering that I scored big points on Andy, so fuck him.
Yeah, very big points on Andy. Andy really struggled, didn't he?
We're going to Osher Saban. Hi, Fury.
Hi.
Hello.
I'll tell you now, Biggs didn't intentionally try to take you out, mate. He was a bit confused of what was going on. You were very slow in the bus stop, and he was very fast. And I think he hit his braking point as normal, and was just caught out at how slow you were going into the bus stop. So it was nothing malicious.
It didn't even look like he braked, to be honest.
No, he saved the replay straight away, and he wanted to know if it was him or you who was at fault. And he looked back, and like I said, he hit his brakes. He was going to make the corner, but I think he was just caught out by how slow you were going into the bus stop. So it was nothing malicious. Not like whatever Disco was doing into Town 1.
Yeah, well, no, what was that all about? He blames
don't
Biggs
know.
for that one as well.
He
I need
blames
to see it.
everyone for everything. He doesn't.
He does, that's true.
Himself.
He never blames
Yeah.
me for anything.
Yeah.
He only picks on my chat limits.
He does assign blame quite a lot.
That's because he knows better than to mess with.
Fucking not drinking coffee.
Yeah, me and him going around that long, the quick left-hander. I gave him all the room possible, and he just basically pushed us off into the grass because he just didn't feel like he was turning at all.
What's the matter with you, Dan?
Sutty's just posted something in. He
Oh
goes
my
into,
God.
just thought I would put this in. He's clearly been drinking and his judgment must have impaled. Gary Leach also agrees. You should lay off the shandies. Don't normally post, but in as it's a bit of fun and game. I can't blame you. Have tried to blame me on a stream, and that's shocking.
Who's that against?
Sutty's put it against, I believe, Disco.
Yeah, it looks like Disco was on the inside, weren't
Disco,
it?
Disco's
Disco's hit Sutty.
Disco's a tool.